Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. For those about to talk, we salute you. Talk Radio.
Ash, can you leave the studio, man? Your show's finished, buddy.
It's not our last hour.
No, mate. It's my first hour. The show's finished.
I've got to change the clocks again, everyone. I forgot
Yeah,
that again.
out.
I always do that.
Out.
Sorry, man.
Unbelievable. Thank you.
See you later, man.
Yeah. Outrageous behaviour.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Mom and Dad had trouble just getting along, so they split each in their own way. Now one lives here and one lives there, and my wife's folks did the same. Now we got a son, he's got next to no one. Everybody's so spread out. He's got his next of kin right next to him, but after that we've learned to say, you go your way and I'll go mine. Ain't that how it is nowadays? People drift away in time. You go your way and I'll go mine. I had a secret love. She used to wake me up in the morning with her kiss of fire. But then the fire cooled, she moved away to school. I couldn't help but think the timing was right. It was the other day I saw an older face and stopped to see if we could still be friends. You know her special one, he wasn't having none. He said, oh, haven't you learned to say, you go your way and I'll go mine. Ain't that how it is nowadays? People drift away in time. You go your way and I'll go mine. So if there's just one person in the whole wide world and you love him like your only friend, you better let him know, you better tell him so. A better chance may never come again. Now there's friends and lovers and hangers out, and one thing that makes them all the same. That's in this lonely life. You take this boy's advice, you better watch how many times you say, you go your way and I'll go mine. Ain't that how it is nowadays? People drift away in time. You go your way and I'll go mine. You go your way and I'll go mine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 0844 499 is the phone number. Don't call, though. I'm having all sorts of problems here with my wires and my bits and pieces and all that kind of stuff. We're in. We're ready to go. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. Let me just make sure I'm facing the microphone properly. Catherine's in the studio with me.
Yeah.
Good evening. We're going to go live to New York City. Ever been to New York?
Yeah. That's where I got engaged.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Central Park.
Your husband's not American?
Nope.
Ooh,
That was a mistake.
What did you eat there?
Subway.
Wow.
We were really poor. He was poorer.
Pizza. They do big pizzas. We went there and we said we were so hungry. We said 2 pizzas, please. And they go, "You sure?" Yeah, we want 2 pizzas. What are you talking about? Because we know what you can eat. And so, okay. And he only brought one. He was clever. He said, he only brought one. He said, I brought one. If you want another, we'll make it up. It was flipping massive. It was the size of the moon.
You can never have a starter in America.
No. The breakfasts.
Wow.
Are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, but why do they put, like, syrup on everything?
Because they're dirty. Their bacon is wrong. It's like... You just like it snaps. Mm-hmm. It's too crispy. But the breakfast portions, I mean, you can get very large portions in the United States of America. In New York, more so than, I'm going to say it, Los Angeles, which I think is the worst place in the world.
I've never been to Los Angeles.
It's awful.
I've been to San Francisco,
which is very nice.
I like it.
Very hilly.
Yeah, I've been to Boston.
Boston.
And I've been all over New England.
I have not done. I've been to Seattle.
Oh, I haven't been
I went and saw Bruce Lee's grave.
Oh, yeah, you told me about
Yeah,
that.
I did. I was having a really rubbish time filming this thing, and I knew that Bruce Lee was buried in Seattle, and so I went and I found it. Mm-hmm. And it was, I'll be honest, one of the most touching moments of my life. It wasn't. I was knackered. You have to walk uphill. It's about 2 hours, and then you stayed there, and I had to get back.
Well, he only wants Ninja Pros to get up there.
That's racist, mate.
Wow.
Bruce Lee was Chinese. The ninjas are Japanese. That's actually racist. Don't diss Bruce Lee.
I'm not dissing Bruce Lee.
Well, you are. Only if he was here now, you wouldn't diss him.
He would kick me in the windpipe.
Anyway, the reason we're talking about Bruce Lee is we have one of America's greatest Bruce Lee experts on. No, we haven't. We've got Amanda. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Proper Cast. How are you?
Now, for those who don't know, right, this is Amanda Nazario, who presents a radio program. Now, I get confused. The main station, Amanda, you're based in New York. That's why we started talking about New York. You are there, aren't you?
That's right, yes. I live in New York. The station that I'm a part of, WFMU, is in New Jersey, but it's really close to New York. It's just right across the Hudson River.
WFMU. That's a proper... Okay, I'm going to ask some like, clever questions, but some stupid questions.
And it's up to you to decide which is which.
Oh, great. That's good.
Why do all the radio stations in America, why are they like WFMU or WKRP? Why are they 4 letters?
Actually, east of the Rockies, they are W, and then west of the Rockies, they are K.
Oh.
So there's a really great West Coast radio station, for example, called KEXP.
But what are the letters for? Why do they have all those letters?
It's something from a long time ago. It's the designation, the reason. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Okay. You excellently though, Amanda. You started to go with it.
And then she confessed.
I started to go with it, but then I didn't want to make something up. But yeah, I mean, it has something to do with assigning a channel and a license.
Like a call sign type thing.
Yeah, right.
Now, WFMU, the reason... Right, okay, for those who don't know, right, WFMU is brilliant, and I have literally only dipped my toe in there, because ages and ages... people will probably know I'm a massive radio geek, and I love radio, and I'm kind of bored of radio in this country. There's not a lot going on. And so ages and ages ago, I was on Twitter, and I was saying, hey, guys, anything in the world I should be listening to on the radio? And I had several people... Were you one of the people that got in touch, Amanda, and said you should be listening to WFMU?
I think I said you should be listening to my program specifically because the reason why I followed you on Twitter is because it makes so much of the same music.
Right.
So, yeah, that was my shameless self-promotion, which I almost never do. So,
it worked, man. It worked because I then went and looked at WFMU, the schedule, and it looks amazing. But there's too much stuff to choose from.
You showed me that. It's like a school timetable, right?
Yeah.
It's got loads. It's so varied.
But am I right, Amanda, that you're on like a digital sort of sister station to WFMU?
I am, yes. My station is called Give the Drummer Radio, which is one of a few sister stations. That's a good way of putting it. They're alternate streams, and they are just online. And the main signal is also online, which means that in the UK you could listen to it, and you can really listen to it all over the world. And it was founded by a guy named Doug Schulkind, who is an excellent WFMU DJ, but who had to leave town because his wife got a new job, and his family left and went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the management at WFMU allowed him to do his show from Pittsburgh remotely.
That's
and
cheating.
Then he gave...
It's cheating.
It's the ultimate cheat. It's wonderful. It means that any of us who decide to move to a different city will be able to still be on FMU somehow. We'll
talk about this, the whole of WFMU. I want to talk about your show, though, because I don't really listen to music radio very often. Cass, are you a fan of music radio?
Yeah, I do, and I really like the trashy stuff as well as the classic stuff.
And there's no shame in that. But I'm more of a speech fan. Listen to Talk and LBC and 5 Live and no, not 5 Live, actually. It's terrible. But Radio 4 and stuff like that. So I was kind of intrigued. What you do with your show, which is great, Amanda, is you have a playlist and you'll share the playlist So you can go back to past episodes and see what you played. And I kind of looked through that, and I never click on links, so it was lucky. And I kind of looked through that and I went, oh, there's some stuff that I love. There's some obscure stuff by some bands I quite like but don't know much about, and there's some stuff I've never heard of. And it was just the right mix of all these different things together.
remember thank you for saying that. That's wonderful. I mean, it's not on purpose that I do it that way, but that's what my tastes are. I like to discover things that I've never heard before and mix them in with things that I love, and even things that I dislike or things that I used to dislike when I was a kid. I revisit them, and they're good now, you know.
Go on, Kath, you were going to say something.
Well, I just remember you coming into work the next day saying, I've heard the best radio station in the world. You've got to listen to this. Because, you know, it had everything, and it was that kind of, you know, these days you can pretty much select what you want to listen to. You know, I listen to a 90s radio station, you know what you're going to get, and pretty much it is the same songs on repeat. But with this, you know, it's back to the old days when you never know what you're going to get, and sometimes you sit through something that you weren't so crazy about, and then there's a gem there that you had never heard of before, and it leads you along this path of, you know, discovery again.
And it was for me, and I can't remember any of the band names now, but there was one show I was listening to, and I was just writing everything down, going, right, I'm going to have that, right, I'm going to buy that out. Everything was just.
I'm so flattered by this.
What you get from that, what I get from your show is that you love that music. I'm guessing you go and choose the music yourself, do you?
Always. Oh, yes. It's all, and that's the same for all of us DJs at the station. We are allowed to just do whatever we want. And on the alternate streams, we're not even bound by the FCC rules because it's all online, which means that I can swear and I can play songs that swear. Yeah, I mean, it's very free.
And you do a mixture. I love it when you just go, I was in the record store today. By the way, Bleecker Street Records is the greatest record store in the world. Although last time I went, they didn't have as many bootlegs, but they did have a fat cat. But you come in, you go, well, I bought this record today and I'm going to play it just because I like it. And it's like a really crackly, you know, scratched old record, and it sounds awesome. And you don't get that in this country. No one chooses their own music. A few shows on Six Music, they will. But generally, it's all playlisted by a computer.
We got away with it for a bit. We were inspired by you, Amanda. There was a record store around the corner from the place we used to work in, and we used to go and get lost in there for, you know, an hour or so, and come back the next day, and he'd be like, right, listen to this. And it was almost like we were dueling, you know, I want to play. You know, like sometimes you go out with your friends and maybe you end the night back at someone else's house and you go, oh, you've got to listen to this. And then the other guy says, oh, well, if you like that, then you're going to love this. And you end up kind of swapping tunes and going on about music. That's kind of how we ended up, wasn't it?
We totally upped. I mean, listen, we were a BBC local radio station, and now we're on a speech station, so we certainly had strict limits, but we totally upped our game in terms of the music when I discovered Amanda's show. It was like, right, this is going on. How did your show? Let's get the plugs in, because I want to make sure people do check this out. If they want to listen, how do they listen to it? Where do they find it?
I'll give you the link to the playlists, and there are links when you click through there to download the archive so you can listen to any of the shows that I've done in the past 5 years. Okay. It is WFMU.org.
I'm typing this in. WFMU.org, yep. Go on.
/playlists.
Playlists or playlist?
Playlists, plural.
Playlists, plural. Yes.
/AN, which is my initials.
Okay, I'm going to tweet that in a second so that people can go and find it. And and there'll be songs in there you hate, and that's brilliant. You know, that's brilliant.
Guaranteed. There will be one song in there you hate at least.
And the thing is, I've listened to it before, and I've heard 2 songs I've hated in a row, and I thought, but I've enjoyed it because I thought that means I'm really going to love the third one when it comes on. You only do. Is it 2 hours a week you do, Amanda?
It's 2 hours a week, Wednesday afternoons, and since it's archived, people can listen to it starting that evening, anytime, you know.
What's WFM?
Listen to it on demand.
We had a big, long, geeky email exchange where I was trying to get you to explain to me how a station like WFMU works, because it's completely alien to us. How is it funded? It's not advertising, is it?
No, not at all. And that's what makes the programming so good. We just collect money from our listeners, and most of that money comes once a year when we do a pledge drive. called the WFMU Marathon, and that's when we all have a party and invite listeners to come and answer phones for us and take donations over the phone, and in response we give them gifts and bumper stickers and all kinds of cool things. That's where...
I was going to say, is that usual in the States? Because that sounds extraordinary to us here.
It is very unusual. There are public radio stations in the States, but a lot of them are underwritten, by corporations, and so you do hear things on those stations that sound like a commercial. Major funding is given by the such-and-such foundation, and on WFMU you never hear that.
There was a film being made about WFMU, wasn't there?
Yes, it's called Sex and Broadcasting, and it is out.
Is it out now? I missed it, because I saw the trailer for it when I think it was being crowdfunded, I'm not sure. I saw the trailer. The film is out now, is it?
It was. It is, yes. I went to see a screening of it. I don't know that it's in Europe yet, but it is in the States. What
was the film? Do you remember that film I found on DVD, Kath, about some old guy? I think you know who I'm talking about, Amanda, but I'm going to I won't be very specific. It was this documentary about this old hippie guy who did a show in the States, and in the 60s and 70s it was like this great counterculture underground thing, and then he got shafted by the man. What was that film? Do you remember? I can't think what it was called.
It was called Radio Unnameable. It was very good film.
Boom, that was awesome.
And is he kind of like a character in the in the New York radio scene? Because it sound again another film where it made me go, I've got to up my game a bit.
He had a social conscience. He created community, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Oh, it was wonderful. And he is a character in the New York scene to people of a certain age, this sort of aging hippie contingent that you see less and less. I mean, really tragically less and less as the years go on in New York, because New York is getting so expensive, and people who love their community and are into grassroots organization like that are being priced out of their neighborhoods. It's really terrible.
Well, we've kind of shared a few guests. I got John Sebastian because you kind of pointed me in the right direction of where to go. Hence playing the John Sebastian. So thank you for that.
So much for playing John Sebastian at the top of the show too. That was wonderful.
I know you're a huge Lovin' Spoonful fan, aren't you? Did you get to meet him when you interviewed him, or did you do it on the phone?
I did it on the phone, and I had met him like a couple weeks before that when I went to his show. And I was so shy, and I could barely even shake his hand. I was stammering in front of him. But then when I later approached him with an email saying oh, listen, I'm sorry that I didn't say this in person, but can we please have a phone interview? He just couldn't have been more gracious, and he was very nice.
Here's the thing, and I don't want to broadcast this too loudly. He replies to his own emails when you send them via the website. I couldn't believe it when I said, I'm just wondering if Mr. Sebastian will be interested to talk. He replied, when do you want to do it? Signed JS. That was the coolest thing ever.
Sure I will.
Well, who's the coolest?
Great,
and John Sebastian to one side, Amanda. Who's the coolest guest you've had?
Well, I've only had one other guest besides him, and that was you. So I guess.
Oh, hey!
There's your answer, Ian.
There we go.
You knew that. That's why you phrased it in that way.
About 1 year ago.
Yes, that was you did. I came on your show. It was the coolest thing. What other things are on WFMU? What are the other shows that we might find if we dip in there? Because it seems like pretty much everything is catered for.
You can find a beautiful 1 hour long country show on Wednesdays. You can find a show about sports, believe it or not, a call-in show where people talk about sports in the WFMU fashion. You can find hip-hop radio. You can find lots and lots of rock radio. It's especially good, for people like us who really like 60s and 70s and 80s rock. But there's plenty of lots of very, very avant-garde stuff, too. And there are shows where people just talk and talk. I mean, including mine. I talk quite a bit about The Simpsons. If you like The Simpsons, you would probably like my show, too.
Are there any shows where there are like a couple of limeys, maybe a guy with a beard and a really glamorous kind of producer with the brains?
What?
Have you got any of those?
Not yet. But if you contact me, I can put you in contact with, the person to send a pitch to.
I've already tapped Amanda up for work, guys. Listen, I'm totally there. I would love if the guy. Where's he gone to? Pittsburgh. He's doing a show in. If he can do a show in there or Pennsylvania, whatever it is, we can do one in London, for crying out loud.
Well, you'd think.
You would think.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. You can.
Amanda, so the show's every Wednesday. The bloody internet's down here, annoyingly, so I'm going to tweet the link, your link, in a little bit. What do you what's the plan? Is there a plan for you? Do you want to do more shows? I mean, you can't. Do you get paid for working there, or is it kind of all voluntary? Everyone's chipping in, right?
Yeah, no, none of the DJs get paid at all. There's a very small office staff, and they get paid, just to do the mailings and everything, but none of the on-air staff get paid. And I would love to do radio, but I only want to do radio like this.
Yeah.
So I don't expect to ever get paid. I'm actually a dog walker and a pet sitter. I have my own business.
Oh, hang on a minute.
And that's my gig,
Wow, because I've got beef with dog walkers, Amanda.
You do.
I've got beef with. Well, do you clean up the dog mess after all of the dogs?
Yes, absolutely. That's part of it.
Okay,
you have to.
And now I've got a dog now, and I wish I hadn't bought it. It was a terrible mistake. I'm a cat person, but I'm noticing a lot of dog walkers, and a lot of them here.
Yeah,
they turn a blind eye.
The dog walking thing is very new here, and I think some of them are less professional than others. I mean, just chances.
I see. Oh, that's too bad.
Amanda, listen, it's always give us. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Give me the link again, because my internet isn't working. I'm going to have to tweet it from my phone. So it's
www.wfmu.org.
Yep.
/playlists.
Playlists plural, yes.
Playlists plural /AN.
Brilliant. And honestly, guys,
so that's Apple Nancy.
It is such a good show. And what I love about it is there are gaps, there are silences, there are bits where you're thinking, there are bits.
Technical gaps. Yeah, it's very unprofessional.
No, but that's great. I love that. I hate all of this. If you've ever listened to this show, you know that slickness is not in our repertoire at all.
Not at all.
I love.
I would beg to differ. It sounds great.
Well, you're very kind. But I love the fact that we get to kind of see behind the curtains, so to speak. And it is just the best mix of music. And honestly, Amanda, when I discovered your show, Kath's right, I came in the next day going, oh my God, I found this thing and it's absolutely incredible. And we upped our game. Yeah. It upped our game, so I really appreciate that,
Oh, my goodness.
Amanda?
Well, I would like to say the same to you, because I feel like I should up my game listening to your slick call-in show.
Oh. Don't change a thing, man. Don't change a thing. You're
How's
brilliant.
that for stammering?
And Amanda, listen, you are welcome on any time. Anytime you want to come on, or you haven't, I was trying to find a way. I wanted to get Amanda on, Catherine, since I knew we were going to have this gig, right? And I was trying to think of how we could do it, as like an American correspondent or like a 60s music, and I just couldn't find a way of doing it, so I thought we'd just get her on and just talk about her radio show. It's all right, isn't it?
Of course it's all right.
Amanda, it's so nice to talk to you, and thank you. And by the way, for that, let me indulge me for 30 seconds. I've got a record label, as you know, 7A Records, and we release like monkeys-related things. And Amanda was my.
I did work for you too. I engineered one of the.
You became an engineer. I found out that Mickey Dolenz and Peter Talk were doing. Not Peter Talk, Peter Noon from Herman's Hermits were doing these talks in New York, and I got in touch with Amanda saying, "You don't know anyone who could go and record it for me, do you?" And we kind of eventually went, could you do it? And she did, and she did an absolutely blinding job. And it was, I imagine you were quite terrified, because I was asking you to do something you'd never done before and go and record a live show, which is no mean feat, really.
I was shaking. I was so terrified. But, I made sure that I had many backups, and I talked to many people to make sure that I would do it right. And
you did it brilliantly. You did it absolutely brilliantly.
Great relief.
And it's lucky you didn't make Peter Noon. He's quite a hard man to work with. So we found out. Anyway, Amanda, lovely to talk to you. I'll speak to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. Have a wonderful show.
Thank you, Amanda. There we go. Honestly, it is.
Well, I love her.
She's brilliant. The show is absolutely brilliant, right? And it's like. I mean, it's not like anything in this country. This is the thing.
Because everyone now is frightened to death of losing a listener by playing something that they may have a strong feeling about, right? So let's just keep it beige and everyone's not offended by it. But why not challenge, I really believe that if you like music, you'll bear with it,
And I don't always get to listen to her shows live. I've not listened for a while, actually, because life has kind of moved things a little bit around for me. But she also has like a little chat room going on when the show's on, and you can go in and kind of chat to people, and it's like really nice. Not like Periscope here, where you get people being really rude. It's all just really nice. It's all me's and you's, it's kind of, people in their late 30s, early 40s and different ages. Geeking out, man. And Amanda joins in during the show and they go, hey, what's this song, Amanda? It's great. And it's just, if I could compare it to anything, it's just like a late night show on Six Music.
But I wonder whether the attitude of the listener, and our listeners are, I've got to say, for the most part, great.
Oh, brilliant. We do brilliantly well, yeah.
We get some people who decide that this is the way to have a free pop at people.
Yep.
And I wonder whether it's because we are getting paid and there is a perception that somehow that makes us fair game.
Yeah.
I wonder whether the fact that she isn't means that they are more, I don't know, there's more of a kinship there.
Yeah, maybe. I'm having terrible trouble with the internet. That's why there's no Periscope. And I'm trying to tweet on there, so I don't know what's going on, guys. We may have no internet this evening, which is no.
I've got it. Do you want to use my computer instead?
Have you got it on your computer?
Uh-huh.
Have you got it now?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to send a tweet and it won't work.
Yeah, well, I've got a Twitter and everything.
Oh well. Okay. I will tweet that link at some point this evening. I promise, and it's well worth checking out. American radio, I struggle to get my head around it. Right. Normal service is resumed. 0844 499 1000. Call us up. We'll call you after this. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's go to Paul. Evening, Paul.
Hello.
Hello, Paul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the internet not working?
The internet is not working, Paul. Can you turn your radio off, Paul?
Well, I called in to say, did you remember the program called Man O Man?
Man O Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Chris Tarrant. Yes, I do. It's very raunchy.
I liked it.
I would like, once my online channel is converted to a pay-and-near service,
yes,
I would like the company to team up with the company who produced Man O Man to make a kids version of Man O Man called Gunpad, hosted by me.
A kids version of Man O Man called Gunpad?
Hosted by Paul and Shane.
Yeah, Paul and Shane.
The pop stars.
But so hang on, you want a kids version of Man O Man called Gunpad?
Hosted by me.
I know you and Shane are going to host it.
You know what it means by guns, don't you?
What, muscle? Do you mean muscles?
Yeah.
You can't have a kids show about their muscles, though, Paul. That's a little bit creepy.
I'll be hosted by Paul and Shane.
Paul and Shane are going to be doing it. But you can't, and so kids will be showing their muscles. Paul? I know this has developed into a conversation and detracted from the monologue, but this is important. Look, the kids will be showing their muscles.
Yeah.
You can't have kids showing their muscles.
Yeah.
Be a pervert's paradise. It's a good name for a show, by the way. Write that down.
Be careful. The adults won't touch your kids.
Well, I'm glad the adults won't touch them. But the thing is, right, Paul, and I'm glad that I do like the fact that you come up with shows for kids, but the adults don't need to touch the kids to get their kicks. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's not be negative. Let's see if we can workshop this into something. What would the kids? So they're not going to show their muscles. They're going to be fully clothed. What would the kids have to do?
I had an idea that the store ran up be doing wee and poo.
Right.
Back to the wee and poo. Paul, you're never going to get a programme on the air that has kids showing their muscles and doing wees and poos. I can tell you now. I've spent 15 years trying.
It would have been done, yeah.
Exactly. I've spent 15 years trying, Paul.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen, buddy.
Mind you, they said that to Chris Evans. You go for it.
No, I did. I'm just turning my computer off and turn it on again because I can't. You've got internet, have you?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna have to. I hope that helped. Oh, no, he's got another one. Okay, go on.
Well, ambition. I would like when I have lots of money, I would buy ITV.
How much money do you think ITV would cost you?
Well, I need to earn money from the media company first.
Right. This is from the money you're going to make from the Paul and Shane records.
I'm my media company.
Okay. So what? Paul and Shane
my online channel.
Okay. Like a Paul and Shane movie.
My media company it's going to be called the Magazine Channel.
Okay. Well,
and kids and the muscles is currently a taboo subject.
It's taboo for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that it's borderline paedophilia. Yeah.
It was not.
I think. Can I make a suggestion, Paul?
Yeah.
Go away and give it a bit of a rethink.
Well, if the online channel is a success,
yes,
we've made lots of money.
Yes, well, exactly, and I wish you the very best. And boy, oh boy, if the online channel is a success and make lots and lots of money,
you're going to look like an idiot.
Well, I'm going to be knocking on his door, cap in hand, and saying I can find some kids that are very muscular. But I just,
Yeah, I've got reservations.
I've got reservations. Let's go to Baz. Evening, Baz.
Hello.
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 How's it going, Ian?
Very weirdly, Baz. I've got no internet, so I'm trying to just tweet a link about Amanda's radio station, but I'm listening. Yes, what you got for us?
Is there any sort of particular theme that you want me to talk about, or can I mention something that I heard on your radio show a few days ago?
Well, there's no theme. You can call in about whatever you want.
That's good. Because I watched The Imposter. Yesterday.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
I don't know whether I was disgusted or kind of enthralled by the guy.
Well, you could be both.
Yeah, I suppose it was a bit of both. It kind of like I was fascinated by him, but also hated him.
Again, you can be both. You know, a lot of people. I am okay. Here we go. Let's play this game.
Sorry if I'm kind of bringing stuff up.
No. And this is good for you, Baz, that you've done this. And to anyone, you can call up about stuff I was talking about 4 years ago if you want. I don't mind. There's no thing. I am both disgusted and fascinated by Joseph Fritzl.
Yeah.
Disgusted and fascinated. Yeah. The disgusting people are most often the most fascinating. Go on, Catherine. We're bearing our souls here. Who are you disgusted and fascinated by?
Well, easily the Wests.
Yeah, the Wests.
I read a book about the Wests. Have you read the same one? It's called Happy Like Murderers, and I wish I'd never read it. Do not read that book, and that's not reverse psychology. Like I would say, don't watch Threads. Do not read that book about the West. Flipping it. I read it because I was doing for my journalism qualification. I was doing crime specialism, and that was the big story at the time. And oh my goodness, you cannot, you cannot believe what those people managed to justify to themselves. And that's the thing, isn't it? You just sort of wonder how people live with themselves, having committed these terrible things that you would never consider. You would not in your wildest dreams. So yeah, I think you're right to be fascinated by them, because you're kind of wondering what on earth is going through their mind.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of after I watched the film and then listened to the interview with the private, I forget his name now, the private
Charlie Parker. Parker.
He was brilliant.
And what a great storyteller.
You couldn't have wrote him in a film. He was just fantastically non-stereotypical.
He was. Do you know what? I might reach out to him, as they say in America, and I actually said that genuinely in there. And that's the first time I've said it. When I'm emailing Americans, I do use the phrase, "I'm just reaching out to you," because they like that. Yeah. But then I just said it for real. But I might reach out to him to see if he wants to come on again. To talk about,
was really good.
Well, to talk about other stuff, not to talk about The Imposter,
because he'll be investigating other things.
To talk about other stuff, because he was such a good storyteller.
Yeah.
And we spoke to him for 45 minutes, pretty much about The Imposter. But I would love he was just such a good guest,
The
I
thing
thought.
about him is he's not a policeman.
No.
He's just a bloke. He's
Yeah.
just a bloke who's really clever and kind of could pick up on such a minute detail, such as the ears in that instance.
And I'm not being rude when I say, I'm saying this to be descriptive for anyone who's not seen the film. He's a big, fat, old man, and he looks brilliant. He's got the kind of slightly long white hair that's swept back. He's got braces.
He's got braces on. Yeah.
And you can just imagine him chewing a matchstick, can't you? And
But he also comes out with the sort of stuff that gets squeezed out of you when you're at the police academy.
Yeah.
Do not express this kind of opinion.
Yeah.
Him saying that, he said he felt that if he harmed that family, he would kill him himself. He said
He's also got that element of danger to him that's quite good.
Yeah.
And also, as well, and let's be honest, I suspect there was a slight bit of bullshine and theatrics in his storytelling, which is not a criticism at all. You know, the thing about sitting there and getting the tapes out, the Michael Jackson tapes, and weeping and stuff. But beautifully delivered. Of course you want a bit of theatre in your crime. Of course you do. You will have heard, I'm guessing, Baz, that we got in touch with Frederick Bourdin, and several people did on Twitter, and he was thoroughly unpleasant to them. Thoroughly unpleasant.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that he'd been thoroughly unpleasant, I actually looked him up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And went through some of his feed, and there's some horrific stuff.
Oh, it's horrific.
Yeah.
He's a nightmare.
Really nasty, vile, abhorrent stuff.
Well, he enjoys shocking people, doesn't he?
It must be that. I can't fathom how you could be so horrifically nasty for no apparent reason.
Well, Twitter's a place for that.
To shock.
Yeah,
somebody, so.
it is an incredible story. We've not ditched Film Ring. I decided we're not going to do it every 2, 3, 4 weeks. We're just going to do it when I find a film that blows my mind.
Yeah.
And both of those, what was the first film we did? Oh, Kung Fu Elliot.
What we don't want to do is hit you with a limp one so you lose faith.
Yeah. So I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait. And a film will come and catch me unawares. I'll put something on Netflix because I'm bored. I won't be expecting much. And then 10 minutes into it, I'll be texting Kath going, oh my God, you've got to see this film. It's incredible.
What's this Kung Fu Elliot thing? Because I've mentioned this. I've never watched it.
You need to.
Well, it divides people more than The Imposter did, in as much as a lot of people hated it. Mm-hmm. But it's a documentary on Netflix about this Canadian martial arts star who wants to become like the Canadian Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme type thing, and he makes his own films. I've still not received those films from Canada.
Maybe they don't exist.
His own films.
He makes his own films. I'm going to email them and find out what's going on with them.
And does he does he have like a haram of people that kind of believe that he's the best, or does he kind of...
Well, you need to watch it, Baz, and you need to watch it, and you need to find out, because it's a treat. I do have another way of getting They Killed My Cat from Hooky, from Barry Hooky, Uncle Don Lode. But I hope they haven't got lost in the post. That would be outrageous. Maybe they've not sent them. It's driving me slacker. Baz, thank you very much for that. Kyle and Alan, stay there. If you want to come on the show, now is an excellent time to call in. I've not even started to tell you about Go Ape yet. 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's go to Alan.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Alan.
How's the car?
Oh.
Sore
point.
What happened?
Okay, so I had problems with my car last week. A light came on and it was juddering a little bit. I thought, uh-oh. And I made the mistake of taking it to a garage. Not a main dealership or a reputable garage, but a garage that, now I think about it, I think they did me over before. And I went, and they replaced, and I'm using that word very, very loosely, the lambda sensor for £310. It involved him taking the car to his mate's garage around the corner. Well, I couldn't find one round the corner because that guy is one of only 3 people in the country to have a Volkswagen computer, and his is more up to date than Volkswagen itself, apparently.
Oh boy!
Which, considering what happens next, is hard to believe.
Yeah, 310 quid, right? So, he said that should fix it. If it doesn't, bring it back and we can sort it out. Because I know what the other problem might be. I was like, all right. It worked. We left. We drove into town, a distance of 20 minutes. It worked. Went and did our shopping, got back in the car. The light came on. I thought,
Oh,
right.
dear.
Yeah, oh dear. I thought, I've just spent 310 quid on this. There is not a chance in hell I'm going back to that Dodge pot, right? But I thought, maybe it's just the light has come on, I'll stick with it. And it was driving fine. Then this weekend, I was driving to London, started juddering, and I thought, right, okay. So I brought the car back home. Bearing in mind, on Saturday, I'd paid a man £200 to do a bit of spray painting on a little scratch ad. So far, Alan, I've spent 510 quid on a car that looks good, but it don't work, right?
Right.
Took it into a Volkswagen dealership this morning. And what they do now is they do this thing now for no other reason than they can. The mechanic will film your car and send you the film of the car to point out what's wrong with it, right? They do.
That's unusual.
Well, it's what they do now because they can.
No, when I got my new Mini, I had a video of it first, of them showing me it to sort of whet my appetite, saying, your car's here, Catherine. Here's a little look around
I didn't watch the video.
So I showed you the interior.
Yeah, showed me the whole lot.
I didn't watch the video because I just wanted to see how much the damage was going to be. It was in for a service. That's 140 quid. It was going to cost me £99 plus VAT for them to connect it to the computer. So that's already you're on at 225 quid, and then it would be parts and labour. The bill came back. I was expecting 500. Urgent work, 1,500 quid.
Bloody hell!
Non-urgent but essential work, £1,000.
Oh boy!
£2,500.
So why didn't that guy's better computer pick that
And
up?
here's the thing, one of the things they had to do was replace the lambda sensor. The bit that he had replaced.
Oh.
So he gave you a faulty lander sensor.
Or did they change it at all?
So, Alan, I weighed up the pros and I weighed up the cons, and I bought a new car.
What car you got now?
A Volkswagen Polo, exactly the same colour. It's exactly the same. It's identical, but it's got 100,000 less miles on it. And I'll be honest, right?
What litre engine?
No, there's no engine. I'll be honest, they gave me 1,500 quid for my car, which, considering it needed 1,500 quid's worth of work done to it, and I know they'll do it for free because it's them, I thought that was all right. And then the lady who I'd booked in for the servicing came out. I thought, she's going to charge me for the servicing and the computer. She says, oh no, we'll let that go. So it could have been a lot worse. But yes, I've just spent several £1,000s. Imagine waking up, right? And then thinking, it's a lovely day, and then someone comes up to you and says, yeah, can we have several £1,000s, please, for something you've already got? You go, oh, no. So, yeah, that's my summer ruin. Thanks, guys. So that's how the car is.
That's good. And also, I've been playing Pokemon Go over the weekend.
He wasn't listening to that at all.
He wasn't good. That's talking to my gran.
That's good. Das ist gut. Das ist gut, Alan. Was ist das ist gut?
Das ist nicht so gut.
Was ist das?
Pokemon Go.
Was ist das ist gut? Das ist nicht gut.
Vorsprung durch Technik.
Fruchtbar.
What?
Vorsprung durch
No, not you, her.
Fruchtbar.
Ah, einfach klasse. Was ist das gut? Das ist nicht gut. Was ist das gut? Das ist nicht gut.
Danke.
I beg your pardon? Tell us about Pokemon Go then, Alan.
My Pokemon count is now at 7.
Well, that's how many I've got, and I only played it for 20 minutes.
Well, I've got 2 Pidgeys.
Oh, they're 10 a penny.
Yeah.
And I went to the pub tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a Pokestop there.
Did you catch any flange?
I got 3 new Pokeballs.
Oh, Alan.
Alan, you are a 1. Aren't you, Alan? You're a 1.
The one and only.
The one and only. I'm going to cut you off, Alan. Das ist
Pokeballs.
Gut. Das ist gut. Das ist nicht gut.
I don't know where Fruchtbar came from. That's old school.
Yeah.
That means terrible.
Yeah. Did you learn German with Franzi?
No.
German
I
pig?
did German GCSE in a year and got a B.
Oh, stick it up your bum. Speaking of sticking things up your bum, it's Iain.
Hello, mate.
Hello, Iain. You all right?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you?
Well, I'm worried. I've ordered the Kung Fu Elliot films, right? And I've paid money, but now I can't...
Cash?
Well, no, not cash, PayPal, isn't it? But now I can't find out who I've paid it to.
Look on PayPal.
Well, I can't get onto internet. You talk to Ian.
Internet?
You talk to Ian.
He's having a nightmare. Honestly,
Well,
it started with the car.
I'm sure I can help you out.
Go on.
Well, you know Baz who was just on the phone to you then?
Yeah.
That's one of my good mates from school. And I happen to have a funny story about old Baz.
Well, hang on, who was Baz? Have we spoken to
Baz was the one that was talking about the
You just spoke to
imposter.
Baz. You're talking about the film. I didn't really understand the reference, but he'd obviously been listening. But
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, old Baz, his old man is mates with Steve Bruce.
Oh, the football man.
Whole manager.
Yeah, used to be captain for Man U. Used
to play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Scalzi.
Hey!
Well,
Super Ray Parlour, used to play for Arsenal.
They used to live for about 2 years before they were...
Can I ask, is this vaguely libelous?
No, not at all.
Okay, then continue, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah. They used to live down in Devon.
Yeah.
And when their old man used to do the coaching for the B side,
Yes.
they obviously weren't in the top side straight away.
No.
They used to kick dead mackerel into a barrel to practice because they bring them in and they needed to be transported.
You have literally just made this up. Fair play to you, Ian. Well done. I've been asking for prank calls and now we've got one. But you've actually made this up, haven't you?
Deadly serious.
I don't believe you, but carry on.
Right. Used to kick the heads until...
There we go. You
there
see?
we go.
I told you. Listen, fair play. It was a great one. It wasn't a great one. It was an effort. You'll never get a prank call past me. You'll never get one past me. My prank call alert. Hang on a second. Paul?
Hello?
Yeah, Paul, you've been on.
I want to talk again about the change of ideas.
Well, I think the thing is, I think we've got your ideas. And I don't think we are the people to help you with your ideas. I think you need professional help with your ideas.
We're changing.
You're changing Gun Squad to what?
I'm changing the idea.
Hello?
I'm changing the ideas. It's going to be named Man. It won't be aimed at kids.
It's going to be aimed at adults now. So will it still be kids showing their muscles?
No, it won't be kids.
It's going to be adults.
Yeah.
Showing their muscles.
Yeah.
To what end?
And then there'll be one players wearing a nappy and do wee and poo.
Yeah, there's a wee and poo.
There's a Paul. Paul.
It's a very niche market, that.
I mean, there is a market for it. Coprophiles Unite is the title of my autobiography. But I think you're going to need to leave the wee and poo out of it, Paul. If I'm being completely honest with you, that's terrible. It's a terrible idea.
Okay.
But
keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on, buddy. Next time he calls in, let's give him LBC's phone number, shall we? Carl, stay there. We'll come to you after the break. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. I can't get any of the internets. Certainly not the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi here is dead for me, as far as I'm concerned, on both my phone and my computer. But now I can't get my 3G to work, so I can access PayPal. It nearly did it then, and then it didn't. So I can find out where the hell. Give us your computer. How are you on the bloody internet?
Magic cat.
Twitter's sort of going for me a little bit. No, it's not. It's frozen. And by the way, I'm loving not being on Twitter. I am loving not engaging. And I saw a few nasty comments over the weekend. Muting.
Just let them talk to themselves.
Muting. I am muting people now. I block some of them. I mute some of them. And they carry on shouting. It's like they stood at the edge of a cliff shouting at France. I'm yours, France! You're all tossers! Right?
And the French are going, boy, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, so they're not even saying that because they can't hear them. They don't even know that person's shouting. But then there's one with a long telescope and he goes...
I think he's saying something.
Oh! I have got the best question. Thank you. You've reminded me. Genuine question, right? And I need a deaf person. Can you lip read cartoons?
Some of them you can.
But can you, though?
If they're really accurate
The old
ones.
Hanna-Barbera ones, of course you can't. They're literally just going...
Right. I noticed with the Musker Hounds, you
Yeah.
know the ones that were French-made or
Yeah.
Spanish-made?
Yeah.
Their mouths were speaking a different language. You
No.
can tell. Yeah, you can tell.
You can't... They were just going...
No, they don't just go, man. They
This
do
is a
the proper-
genuine question, because what were we watching? Oh, we were watching Zootropolis.
Mm.
Any film, any place, anywhere. And I was bored, because I hate that film, and my youngest wanted to watch it. Luckily, he fell asleep, and as soon as he fell asleep, I put on Cinderfella. Anyway, I was watching Zootropolis, and I was thinking... I was sort of like really staring. I wasn't squinting. I was doing it with my ears. I was trying to squint my ears. So I was trying to block my ears out without actually raising my hands because I was quite tired. And was looking, wasn't squinting. I was wide-eyed looking at the mouths and going, it looks like they're saying the words. But I don't know. So this is a genuine question, right? 0844 499 1000. By the way, great news. Trident's renewed. Get in there! Oh, no, hang on. That's a bad thing. Can you lip read cartoons?
Talk Radio.
Christopher and Kyle, stay there. We'll come to you. If you want to call in, for a Monday, it's not a bad start to the week, is it? It's quite a good show. So here's a genuine question. Can you lip read cartoons? 0844 499 1000. This is the news.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
This stoop is my throne, this hood is my home, and the sky's always blue, but the brownstones. We in Brooklyn, ain't no Beverly Hills. Basically, we pay bills, then chill. East Coast bliss, West Coast diss. We do it like this, and we seal it with a kiss. Ain't no pound, it's just how it go down. It's the protocol, do you feel me, y'all? Saturday afternoon, we talked about the night before, and tonight we're gonna do it some more. Sunday morning, hear the bands in the church play all day long. Every block is a new song. Sitting on the stoop in bed style, always say how when the brothers walk by. Just proper etiquette, sitting on the top step with the bag of chips to the back, relax, enjoy the bricks. We got a liberty philosophy. I don't mess with you, you don't mess with me. It is what it is, it ain't all hard up in the hood. Sitting on the front stoop, it's all good. With my beaters in cornrows, wear the pants down low so the briefs can show. Girls be always dressed up, giving their best stuff, working that hairdo, boys are gonna bless you. Always some commotion at the corner store, that the corner cops choose to ignore. Everybody right tuned to a different song. When they pass by, I bow my head along. I don't spark splits, but don't mind me aroma. If the deli out of Stella, then I set up a Corona and I claim my spot for the evening. Let the party begin, we're gonna do it again. Sitting on the stoop in bed style, always say how when the brothers walk by. Just proper etiquette, sitting on the top step with the bag of chips to the back, relax, enjoy the bricks. We got a liberty philosophy. I don't mess with you, you don't mess with me. It is what it is, it ain't all hard up in the hood. Sitting on the front stoop, it's all good. It's all good, it's all good. La 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 la, love my hood. La 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 la, love my hood. It's all good, it's all good. La 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 la, love my hood. La 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 la, love my hood. Sitting on the stoop in bed style, always say how when the brothers walk by. Just proper etiquette, sitting on the top step with a bag of chips to the back, relax, enjoy the bricks. We got a liberty philosophy. I don't mess with you, you don't mess with me. It is what it is, it ain't all hard up in the hood. Sitting on the front stoop, it's all good.
Literally none of my computer technology is working, and yet yours is.
All of mine is.
Isn't that weird? I wonder why that is. So no Periscope, and I've emailed Canada. I'm worried those DVDs are lost now. We've sold 100 tickets for a thing. We haven't got anything to show at.
Maybe we could act it out.
Whoa! This one's got swears in!
Stop.
That's Little Jackie. That's Imani Coppola. I love him. I've fallen completely head over heels in love with her. And I ordered a load of CDs first. She's hopefully coming on. She said she was going to come on.
Yeah.
I put off replying to her because I was too nervous.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're playing that game?
Yeah.
Just get in there, for heaven's sake.
Well, I don't know. Kyle's on the line. Yes, Kyle.
Oh, evening, you okay?
Yeah, good. What you got?
Well, I was going to say, I thought the Amanda interview was excellent.
She's really good. Check out her radio show, man. It's only 2 hours a week, for crying out loud, you slackers. Go online and listen to it. It's absolutely flipping brilliant. Love it.
No, I shall give that a go. Good. And the other thing I was going to ask you, although I was going to ask it last night with Howard.
Yes.
But then I chickened out because I didn't want him to mock me, and I thought you wouldn't mock me.
What are you talking about? I missed Howard last night. I was knackered. What did I do? I recorded 2 shows yesterday. That's why I was and I had to get the train into London and the tubes and then the train back. I was knackered. That's why I got home and I went to bed, yes. So I missed Howard. Why? What were you going to... What?
Well, the question I was going to ask, and it's funny because it ties in, even though it annoys me, with Cadix, what he's been up to. But this whole Pokemon thing, is it harmless fun, or is it a precursor to an alien invasion?
No, he's right. I'm going to laugh at him.
Well, wait. Explain your thinking, Kyle.
I don't think there's been any thinking in there. You put a word in there that is unnecessary. But let's
Which word's unnecessary?
The thinking word.
Well, no, I've genuinely thought about it because I was doing it on. I'm a slightly older man these days.
Yes.
And on whatever night, Saturday night, I was wandering around. Me and my friend of the same age, and we were wandering around. We were capturing them. It's brilliant. We saw other people capturing them as well.
Do you what? So you think that this is a training video for catching actual aliens?
Well, I'm considering it. Yeah.
Or have you thought about this scenario?
Okay.
What about if the aliens are controlling the Pokemon game and what they're doing is herding you?
It's not aliens controlling the Pokemon game. It's perverts, sex offenders, and bullies.
Oh.
Isn't it?
Well, hang on. Sorry, I've got to ask. Why is it perverts, sex offenders, and bullies? Sorry, I don't understand.
Well, because you've obviously not been reading the news.
They know where you congregate.
Oh, is that the reason? Honestly, I've not been part of it, so I don't know. You've gone quiet now.
Yeah, I've got a tweet here. I don't understand. I don't know what that tweet means.
Oh well.
Because the people are getting bullied and beaten up and mugged and sex attacked and stuff, aren't they?
Well, isn't that the risk? I don't know. There's some people have been mugged.
Yeah. All of those things I've just said are true. Would you think someone comes on the radio and makes stuff up or exaggerates?
Someone who's been listening to Nick Ferrari.
No. There have been all manner of sex attacks. I keep going out trying to find one. Ho, a joke about sex attacks. Well done, guys. Is that the best you can do, Lee? You really are vile. So yeah, is the answer to that, Carl?
No, I'm just puzzled. I'm amazed at the sex aspect of it. Genuinely, I'm not mocking, having a laugh or taking the Michael. I had no idea that people were using it without purpose.
Yeah. It's all going on, man. It's all going on. You have to. It's just the thing about it is right. It's just not very. It's not as a game. I've not got to the stage where you go and have battles yet, and I need to play a bit more with the kids. But here's the problem, Nintendo.
It's not for kids.
No, it is for kids.
No, it's not really. My kids can't get their heads around it.
No, well, the boys like it. But the Pokemon are too far apart. They need to be nearer. 08444 499 1000, by the way. I realise I'm not giving out the phone number for a while. They need to be nearer. That's what they need. And they are too far apart. We thought there'd be loads at Legoland, but there was none at Legoland at all, which makes me suspicious. Makes me very suspicious. Lego, of course, is Danish.
How does that all tie up then? Why, if you're into Legoland and the Danes, why would they be doing it? Are they pervs?
Well, this is one of the good things to come out of Brexit, is that all of mainland Europe is populated by perverts. Pick a country from mainland Europe, Kyle, and I'll name you a pervert.
Germany.
Oh, for crying out loud! Why don't you pick a difficult one to start with? Have you never heard of the Reaper Barn?
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, I'm a big Beatles fan as well, Yeah, fair point.
Thank you very much indeed. The Reaper Barn. Pick another country. Kath, pick a country from Europe.
Spain.
Oh, for crying out loud, they're all... You could get married to 13-year-olds. Legally, you could have sex with a 13-year-old girl in Spain. Pick a country, Carl, and I'll name a pervert.
Well, I was going to say, well, you could turn this surely into Perth Poker.
Perth's paradise.
Yeah. We could do like a travel show for perverts.
Right, okay, so what, is it my go or Cass go?
Your go. Ed, there's a phone call.
Okay, Perth Paradise, Sweden.
Actually, Sweden is quite sedate. It's a myth that Sweden is full of perverts. It's actually quite sedate. They're very vanilla in Sweden. So that is, that's... go on, Kathy, name a country.
Oh, Finland.
Finland.
They like a sauna.
Well, they like a sauna, and this is true, what they do, and I'm going to say something really vulgar, so if you've got young people listening, I would get them, what the hell are they doing up at this time of night?
Get them to bed, I'm going to call the social.
Hey, it was 11 minutes past 11 seconds. What they do is they use the sauna to clear out their pores, but they also dehydrate themselves as much as possible from every orifice. They try and expunge as many fluids as they can. I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've just mimed it to Catherine in case there was any...
Could you tell the moment at which the penny dropped?
Yeah, exactly. Well, something drops on the floor. Don't go in there barefoot. Wear Crocs.
I had a Finnish friend when I lived in Spain.
Did you finish him off?
Her.
Even better?
Name was Lotta.
Did you?
And she talked like this.
Hang on a second. I've got a joke brewing. I
can tell you a joke.
No. I'm going to let you finish this story, but my joke is going to be flipping brilliant. What a lot of Finnish.
We used to call her Lotta Love because she was fairly.
Got a whole lot of love.
Yeah, because she seemed really innocent, but actually, she wasn't, and that's fine.
Well, they invented DP.
Did they?
The Finns did, yep. Go on, Carl, name a country in Europe.
France.
Oh, flipping it. Well, they're all at it over there.
Belle de jour, anyone?
Exactly. Of course, the word prostitute, la prostitute, or luka, le hookah, luka, they are French words. The first ever exchange, it wasn't money, of course, it was for shells. The first ever exchange of sexual favours for produce, shells, happened in what we now call Lille.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is actually true.
Why were they so mad on shells?
Well, it's what they used to just trade in those days. I would like to be having it away with you.
How many shells you got?
But I have got a conch shell, and these little shells. Oh, you can do what you want with me.
When I lived in Paris, I had a friend who lived near Pigalle, and I would often be waiting for her around the area, and I learned...
What area? The downstairs area?
Pigalle is like the red light district. And I learnt a little phrase.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I did.
50 francs.
I'd say, no, contraire aux apparences, je ne suis pas une pute.
Oh, even when you're turning men down, it's sexy. Well, Kyle, I hope we've given you some ideas for your forthcoming holiday. That should help you a lot there. That was a weird call from Kyle. If I got
They're
this
always
right,
weird from Kyle.
Kyle just wanted us to name countries, and then he'd tell us what their perversion was.
You know what's going on there?
Mate.
He's got his globe out.
Hey.
Sticking pins in it.
Sticking pins in a globe. When I was a child...
Yes.
David and Christopher, do stay there. 0844 499 1000.
And please don't let that put you off.
You'll speak to Ed. Ed will call you back, and it will be happy days. When I was a child, the greatest sign of decadence there was a giant globe that contained whiskey.
Yes.
It was that. If you had one of those, you had made it. That was it. You were the most decadent person that you had. And then,
but that surely is contrary.
Well,
because that's a sign of someone who stays in a lot.
A friend of my dad's we went round to his house and he had one. And I started spinning it. I got a right roller looking for spinning it. It's a globe, you've got to spin it.
Bottles were.
Yeah. Decanters. You know what decanters are for?
A decanting?
Well, yeah. If you open a bottle of wine, you pour it into a decanter.
Leave the lid off.
There's a joke there somewhere. Hang on.
Decanter, drink it until it's breathing.
That's stupid. Oh no, this is good. It's a Jewish joke.
No.
Please. I've just read Jerry Lewis. I feel like I'm part Jewish.
Well, you're not.
Do you know... Oh, God, it's a great one. All right, everyone will like this. No one will be offended by this. Do you know what decanters are for? They're for doing disservice in the synagogue. Cantors are like the religious people. Yeah. And here, I had a revelation at the weekend. You know Neil Diamond in The Jazz Singer?
I'm aware of
my
that.
favourite scene, he blacks up.
That ain't no brother.
That ain't no brother, that's a white boy!
Mm-hmm.
Black doesn't black up his hands.
Claps.
I've worked out why he does. I've worked out why in the 1980 remake of The Jazz Singer, Neil Diamond had to black up.
Why?
I'll tell you after this. Right, so, Neil Diamond, The Jazz Singer.
Right.
You're going to work this out. I'm going to be like a teacher. Right? 0844 499 1000. Christopher, David, Jonathan, you'll all be next. You could be next, dear listener, if you call up. Neil Diamond blacks up in The Jazz Singer. It's a really odd scene, right? Really odd scene. But he had to do it. Do you know why? Who was in the original Jazz Singer?
Al Jolson.
What did Al Jolson do?
Yeah.
He blacks up.
Yeah.
He wore blackface. So it was an homage to Jolson. It was an homage.
Right.
Diamond blacking up was an homage. Not to black people. That was offensive to them. But to Jolson. Jerry Lewis did a version of The Jazz Singer, of course, on television. Blacked up. Blackface. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a little nod to the olden days.
Oh.
What's going on here? I don't know what on earth is going on with my computers at the moment.
We were talking during that little break there
Yes.
about Bewitched.
Yes.
Not the Irish 90s girl band.
No, not the remake starring Will Ferrell and that lady, but the programme from the 1960s, the sitcom starring
Elizabeth Montgomery.
the hottest woman who's ever wiggled her nose.
Mm-hmm.
And I
But
tell
she
you,
didn't ever wiggle her nose. She just did her mouth.
well, do you know who's even hotter than what was her name? Samantha.
Samantha.
Do you know who's even hotter than Samantha in that show? Samantha's evil twin sister.
Oh, no, that wasn't her twin sister. That was her cousin
Well, they looked the same.
with the black hair.
Yeah, she had
what's her
like brunette, I think, wasn't
Yeah.
she? And she was naughty. I liked her.
She was.
But go on.
Well, Bewitched, in one episode, they
Yes.
do blackface. With the best of intentions, especially for those days, because they have a racist client.
Oh.
Darren has a racist client, and so Samantha does a spell that means that all the white people look black to him, and all the black people look white to him.
And they actually black up.
And
You
they
show me a picture of it.
Yeah, and I've seen pictures, and they also have a little black girl who's Tabitha's friend, Tabitha being the little blonde daughter of Darren and Samantha, and they've got sort of... The black girl's got white spots on her face, and the white girl's got brown spots.
Touch with Tragedy, that programme we were discussing.
Yeah.
The first Darren died penniless as a toilet cleaner.
Yeah, and then there was David White, who played Larry Tate. Do you remember?
His boss.
He's the boss, right?
Yeah.
He had a son in it. They finally had a son.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid watching that, I thought, God, they're too old to have a baby,
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
they? He had white hair. And they...
White-haired people can have babies. Mick
Yeah, but when I was a
Mick
kid
Jagger's
watching
having
that-
a baby at
I know,
72
flipping heck, he
with a
needs to-
29-year-old. What was she doing, right?
Well,
I know what she was doing. I don't need to mind that. That's disgusting. But why would you put... I mean, listen, this is the thing, right? Can you... All right. What I'm going to do, Catherine, is I'm going to show you my balls.
No.
Right? And then in 30 years' time, I'm going to show you my balls again. And I want you to show me...
You're assuming I'll still be talking to you after you show me your balls.
Yeah. I want to know if men's balls... Age.
I don't think women are as obsessed with...
I'm not obsessed with
what
them.
they look like as men are.
As what they taste like.
What?
But, do they...
I mean, they're silly things anyway.
Ever since I was... as far as I'm aware, my testicles have always looked the same. They were level at one point, and they're not now. And that's natural. That happens. But I wonder if an old man's...
I don't want to know.
Testicles look the same. And an old man's fella. in all three states.
God! I don't want to be part of this experiment.
No, because it's like... Can I use graphic language?
Yes, it's 11:22.
When you get an erection, it's like having a facelift. All the skin is stretched.
Right.
All the skin is stretched. So I just wonder if there's any difference. So I'm going to show you.
Why don't you go and find an old man and let him show you?
Well, because I wouldn't.
Why do I have to be involved in this at all?
I wouldn't have seen his genitals when he was younger. When he was at his virile.
Well,
peak
these
of
days,
43.
I mean, all right. catch up with one of your mates in a few years' time. I'm sure they've got pictures because everyone's keeping pictures these days.
I'm not going to look at my mate's genitals. You think I'm some kind of pervert or something? You'll look at mine.
I'm not looking.
And you'll be grateful. Have you seen...
No!
No. Have you seen the puppetry of the penis?
No.
It's a good...
I've seen some amateur productions, but only ever a solo show.
They came in when I was on Absolute once, and they taught me how to do the hamburger. They did. I can still do the hamburger. They showed me. We turned the webcams off, and I sent Eloise out, and I did it. I did it. They showed me how to do the hamburger.
Stop messing with it. It'll fall off.
But then I went and saw their show, and the show's good. It's an hour long. It's about 20 minutes too long, but it is an hour of them playing with their dinkles and doing all kinds of things. It's
How did they pitch that in a meeting?
But now it's franchised.
Oh, man.
Now there are franchises of penises going around the world. It is, and it's weird, right? Because, here we go.
Well, it is weird that grown men are being paid
No.
for manipulating things that should be left alone.
It's weird that we are shocked at the sight of the male penis.
All right, then. Let's do vagina Muppets. See how shocked you are about that.
Glove puppets? Can you... No.
Come on, it's
I was watching Zootropolis, which is a film I do not like, right? And there is a funny scene in it for like 5 seconds. There's a funny scene in it when they go to a nudist colony. So it's all the animals without clothes. The joke being, of course, that animals don't wear clothes, but they're animals without clothes. And they're going, oh, that's disgusting. Oh, my God, that's disgusting. Oh, my God, that's disgusting. The naked state is our natural state.
Yeah.
And yet,
yeah, but bending it over so it looks like a hamburger isn't.
In our newspapers, I don't want to talk about specifics here, but in our newspapers recently, we have seen pictures of dead people.
Yes.
Right? Dead people, right? Horrible. And I wish they would put a warning on it. This is the news and these things happen, but really, but yet the sight, the male penis is...
As opposed to the female one.
I'm trying to have a grown-up conversation.
Go on, then.
The male penis is the last... I don't know what you're laughing for. This is serious. I'm genuinely serious about this.
You said penis.
All right, the dick.
Go on,
is that better for you?
Just finish your thoughts.
The winkle.
Make this stop.
The todger. The willy wand. The tassel. Just dumped myself there. Still got another dump.
I wish I could dump it from my memory.
It's the last great taboo. We all know... Right,
You've just given us 15 words for it.
I'm trying
to... that there isn't a great taboo about it. You're trying to dictate to me.
I'm trying to demystify my penis. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Listen.
Do you know what? I'm quite happy for it to remain a mystery.
You open the newspapers, you see dead bodies. Oh, man. Yeah. You open the newspaper, you see lovely, lovely boobies, right? You open the newspapers, you see bum crack. You open Razzle and Escort, you'll see... right? You see that. But the male penis... You don't see it anywhere.
Well, you do if you read in Playgirl.
Well, I just think...
Have you ever read Playgirl?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, try that. And then this conversation can be over.
I just think that... you're sniggering about it. Listen to you sniggering. I have a look at you, I'm so disgusted. You're sniggering about it. Right?
Go on. Make your, and I'm going to use this advisedly, point.
I'm going to make a point, then it's a big one.
Go on.
So, it's just so childish of you, Catherine. So childish. Listen to me. Periods. Tampax.
Right, okay.
Vagina.
Yeah, when I say it, you're always shocked, so don't make out that
Vulva.
Stop it.
Urethra. Tubes. I can talk all...
Tubes.
Womb. I can talk all about your sexy bits. Right?
That's sexy bits, my tubes. Wow. Go on, get on with it.
Opening.
Oh my God.
I can quite comfortably sit here and talk about that. Yeah, penis pops up. And that's the reaction you get from it. Isn't that funny? Isn't it interesting? And do you know what it says, Catherine? Do you know not what the penis says?
I don't want to know.
But do you know what it says about you?
What?
I
feel really uncomfortable with you, like, wanging those words around.
Would it make you more comfortable if I put my trousers back on?
A bit, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll do that then.
Could you sit down again?
I can't
Could you stop doing the hamburger?
Right, that. 0844 499 1000. All right. We've got these calls. Christopher's been waiting for ages. Good evening, Christopher.
Hello.
Hello, Christopher. What have you got for us on this lovely full moon summer's eve?
You were talking about lip reading.
Hang on a minute. Which conversation are you referring to specifically? Not the one we just had, I hope.
No.
Oh, cartoons. He's right. Can you lip read cartoons?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this is kind of slightly unrelated, but I found out weekend.
Yeah.
You know the film Goldfinger?
Again, which conversation does this relate to? Not the one we just had, is it?
No. Goldfinger. Well, maybe.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Unintentionally. So, the film Goldfinger, right? The guy who plays Goldfinger, the villain.
Yes.
I never knew his part was dubbed.
Was it really?
Because he's German, and I've seen a German film with him in.
He wasn't just doing an acting voice?
No, he's dubbed by an English guy.
Oh, that's outrageous. I've never seen the film.
And he's speaking German, is he, on the film?
No.
No,
well,
they do.
He's just kind of...
He's speaking English, but badly, so they dubbed him over with someone who could speak English properly.
Oh, right. Because I've seen a film... have you ever seen the Italian film Cinema Paradiso?
Oh, for crying out loud.
No, it's a great film.
All right, mate, yeah.
In fact, didn't I get you a copy of that?
No.
Well, I should have. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Philippe Noiret's in that. It's an Italian film with a French guy who's...
Do you know what radio station we're on?
Yeah, but shush.
It's Talk Radio.
Some clever people are listening.
No, there's not. It's Talk Radio.
Anyway, imagine this. He's a French bloke. He's speaking French, and they dub him in Italian. So you can see his mouth is doing the French thing. And if you...
Oh, this reminds me. The Italian show Inspector Montalbano.
Yes.
His girlfriend is Swiss, talking German, but they dub her in Italian.
Boom. They do it. I guess the Italians are less precious about dubbing because they have a lot of English films and they're used to seeing people's mouths going at a different rate to their voices.
Yeah.
I guess.
But Goldfinger dubbed, that's totally ruined my childhood.
Oh, Christopher, fair play. Well played. And we'll do that as an ongoing phone in. Things that have ruined your childhood. But this was prompted, for those who missed it, by a conversation we had the other week where people were saying when Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris got charged with their horrific crimes, people were phoning up all the time. It's totally ruined my childhood. No, it hasn't. Unless you were one of the kids that got done by them, then of course it's not ruined it.
Well, and then more recently, people saying that them remaking Ghostbusters with women has ruined childhoods. Really? Doesn't really work like that.
I'm looking forward to that.
I want to see it.
But
it's a PG-13.
Yeah. Now, here we go, Christopher. You're a young man. What does PG-13 mean? Because Star Trek is
PG-13 doesn't exist in this country.
Cass, you've been giving me American View ratings.
Alive. I looked it up on the
internet. This is what I thought, Christopher. This is what I thought.
There's PG, then there's 12, and then there's 12A, which is like you can watch it as long as there's an adult with you.
Right. But what I want to know is, okay, Christopher, what rating is Star Trek?
I don't know. I would have thought that was a PG, maybe a 12.
Hang on a minute. I've actually got someone I can ask. Jonathan?
Hello?
What rating is Star Trek?
12.
You know that Ghostbusters is going to be 12 as well, isn't it?
Oh, nuts. I thought I heard... Now, are you saying that, Jonathan, just to fill air, or do you know that? Because I thought they'd said on Radio 4 it was a PG.
Ghostbusters 12A.
I don't care about Ghostbusters. I want to know about blooming Star
I don't
Trek.
care about Star Trek.
Look up Star Trek. Now.
Well, the previous films have been 12, and I assume this one is 12 because it will have some mild sexual references.
To homosexuality.
That too. But that's beside the point.
Well, no, but I just want to clarify
precisely the point.
Will there be scenes of rampant man-on-man action? That's what I want
12A.
to know. 12A for Star Trek? Oh, bums. Well,
Moderate violence and threat. No mention of sex, but obviously...
Well, okay, Jonathan. Here's your next one. What rating was Star Wars The Force Awakens?
PG.
Was it a PG?
No, I bet it was a...
Han Solo got killed in that.
Yeah, I bet it was a 12.
Yeah, but people get killed all the time now in kids' films. We've become
12.
a desensitised society.
It was a 12. So that means... And I took my boys, 6 and 4, to see that. It's funny names for kids. And they enjoyed that. So they might enjoy Star Trek, as long as there's not too much homosexual propaganda. Because I don't want them to watch it and become...
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, because that's how it works, isn't it?
I don't want them to become gay watching it. Do you know what I mean, Jonathan?
You want grandkids, I understand.
Yeah, and I want it done the proper way. Not through a surrogate or an adoption or something. I want proper... I don't want my kids to turn gay watching a film, so I've got to be careful with that.
Yeah, you've got to be careful.
Got to be careful. Christopher?
Yo.
Anything else?
No, not really.
Okay, thanks for calling.
for having me.
It's literally...
It's a pleasure.
Well...
I liked it.
We've got Jonathan and David and Brian, but let's speak to Jonathan first. Where are you going?
I need the loo.
Hello. Hello, Jonathan. Kath's gone off for a wee break.
He doesn't want to talk to me anyway.
So it's mano a mano, Jonathan. What have you got for us this evening?
I'd just like to recommend some videos that I've got up on the internet this weekend.
Yeah, go on.
They're perfectly suitable.
Yeah.
The first one is you have to go onto Vimeo, but you can access it through YouTube, called, it's an in-depth analysis
Yes.
of the broken relationships of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Okay. What do you mean the broken... I never watched Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, that's fine. You don't need to be a Star Trek fan. It's what it is the creator of the video, who is a personal friend of mine, just breaks down how all the main characters in The Next Generation, with the possible exception of Worf and Miles O'Brien, how they're all broken toys sexually, so to speak.
Blimey.
You've got Geordi, who almost has sex with the Enterprise.
What?
Yeah, you have to watch the video.
Where's the exhaust pipe?
Oh, they do it slightly differently in the 24th century. But it is educational, informative, and it is Davis Arini, who made this mini documentary. He is hilariously brutal with all of these beloved characters.
Oh, blimey. Okay, well, I won't watch that, but thank you.
Minutes.
Yes, okay.
It's about 40 minutes, and you could, if you type in Davis Arini and go on his channel, and you click on the video, it'll take you to the Vimeo link to the documentary. It's hilarious.
Okay.
And the second video I'd like to recommend, it's actually more of a podcast, but it's one I've put up called The Psychology of Judge Joseph Dredd.
Okay.
And it's a 45-minute podcast.
Oh, flipping heck.
It dissecting Judge Dredd's personality. And it revolves around two main themes that are common misconceptions amongst people who know anything about Judge Dredd. Namely that Judge Dredd is not an alpha male. He's actually a beta male in the original sense of the word before it became mud because of all these male feminists. And also that Dredd himself is not a fascist, but the society he operates within, whether it be Justice Department or the people.
So, I was getting bored there. Can I play a little? I'm going to play a clip from LBC. Have you seen this clip?
No.
This has just popped up in my Twitter sphere. You know, the Farage is doing a show there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I knew what I was going to say to you.
One of my big concerns is that
this is a
people
right.
coming to the
This is a caller to Nigel Farage on LBC, right?
One of my big concerns is that people coming to the country are not actually learning English. I don't see how you can integrate if you don't speak the language of the country, you know?
I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that the language is absolutely fundamental.
Just on that specific point, I was wondering why you've spent more than 20 years living in Belgium, and yet you don't speak a word of Flemish, German, or French.
How do you know that?
You make people... Well, because this story about the wheels coming off your car came out that you don't speak... Do you actually speak French?
I speak a bit of
Flemish.
I'll have you know, Richard, I am very good with the French wine list, all right? You know, I know the way around a menu.
Why have you spent 20 years in a country but not attempted to learn the languages?
I do speak a bit of French, Richard, I will have you know. OK? I'm not a brilliant linguist. I'll admit to it.
But everyone else is supposed to.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful?
He tried to style it out with a bit of a joke, didn't he?
08444991000. That clip of Farage is beautiful, and I believe it was this gentleman here. Pablo, it was you that tweeted me that, wasn't it?
Hip, 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 indeed it was.
Hip, hip, hip. I've just retweeted it. Thank you, man. That was a truly stunning clip. It's wonderful.
Well, that was the one thing which I've completely disregarded when I heard LBC had got Farage on. I was like, saying, what they're doing? They're getting Farage on. And I realised it's a perfect opportunity for people just to entrap him in his own words.
Yeah. That wasn't you that did the phone call, though, was it?
No.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not Welsh.
It is, and it's great. One of the things I miss on this show, and we had someone doing a very feeble attempt earlier on, is I do miss the prank call, but it doesn't work on this style of show. I'm yet to be proved wrong, because anything goes, and because we're not talking about issues.
Yeah, there's no agenda.
Well,
there's no bubble of pomposity to prick.
So people could phone in, and and obviously the mackerel thing was rubbish. You could come on and tell a believable lie, and we go, oh right, wow, that's incredible. But it's not as though you're tricking an O'Brien or a Farage or a Ferrari or or even a Ross or a Julia Hartley-Brewer, if anyone wants to have a go at that and send me the recording of it.
It would be terrible.
It would be terrible if when Julia Hartley-Brewer comes back from her holiday and she still hasn't unblocked me on Twitter, if someone were to prank call her.
Let's leave that out there.
Or just call her.
Wow, you did it.
What?
You normally give me the look when I do it. You're management. You're not supposed to do that. You're actually management. You should.
I was just telling somebody off mic to get her a cup of tea. I think that was the discussion there.
Drank that cup of tea that you brought.
Yeah.
Drank that quickly. It was good. It was good that clip. But and I do like listening to my right wing presenters. I like listening to Ferrari. I think because he's brilliant, right? But part of the problem with Hopkins and Farage is they're just not very good at radio. They're not very convincing at radio. And Farage totally ruined this country and split this country apart, and he's an obnoxious racist. But they're not very good at radio. That's the problem.
I mean, he's working on his whole kind of, and his little sound bites, and they're often, and he gets his opportunity randomly for some reason, even though he's not actually an elected politician within the UK itself.
Yeah, exactly.
He still gets the TV time that's not afforded to any MP that I'm aware of, even Jeremy Corbyn, even though that's often by his own choice.
I wonder whether it's because at first he started out as a bit of fun.
Yeah. It was fun, and it was.
Well, somebody saying that they're a person of the people when he essentially came from an industry which brought about the financial woes that we're in at the minute. It's quite it's laughable if it wasn't.
Still, some good news. There's some good news, guys. We've voted to renew Trident. Figures ranging between 35 and 80 billion pounds to have some nuclear submarines in Scotland. So that's
maybe
good.
Maybe we're just saying we are, and we're putting the money elsewhere.
Oh.
Well, I know that, and you know that, Pablo, but don't mention it on the radio, because then blooming ISIS will know. No, it's good.
That could never happen.
Limmy's winding people up and tweeting about this, and he said, what did he tweet? He was, hang on a minute. Mate, here you go. Someone says, someone's having a go at him for being Scottish. And he's gone, mate, I want Trident. I want nuclear bombs. They will help in our fight against ISIS. And that sums it up. They're no use to anybody. If we don't have them, then Korea will bomb us. No, they won't.
Well,
because America will cover our backs.
And ISIS are ready to die whenever you feel like it.
And the thing, and that, God, Theresa May, did you hear that in the House of Commons today? Would you be prepared to press the button and kill 100,000 people? She stood up, she went, yes. Whoa!
Well, I find with a death cult, the best thing you can do is threaten to kill them.
Yeah.
I find that's really effective. Yeah, it's almost an assisted suicide in many ways.
They want to die and get those 72 virgins hot under the collar.
Well, you've got domestic terrorism here, so you've got cells each where over the country. So I find that the best way to deal with that is to drop a nuclear bomb.
You're absolutely right. Let's drop a nuclear bomb on Birmingham, and let's drop one on Luton, and let's drop one on a bit of West London, and then that should sort it out. That'll sort it out, won't it?
Well,
no. Yes, David. Good evening, David.
Oh, sorry. Hip, hip, hip.
Hip? Hip, hip, hip. What you got for us, David?
Well, a couple of things. Firstly, actually, I actually found something Jonathan said was interesting there. The Star Trek Next Generation thing. I know you didn't watch it, and I never watched it, but then I got a job working on a magazine on Star Trek, so I quickly watched it, and I ended up, I had to go to a Star Trek convention, and oh god, this can be full of weirdo geeks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I went there, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I bet it was
mental.
Yeah, I bet it was a load of fun.
But all kinds of things. And towards the end of the evening, there was a woman talking. I was talking to this woman, and she took me to one side, just outside in the corridor, and she had a Klingon tattoo in her female penis area.
What?
Yes.
What do you mean in?
Over it. Sorry, yeah. In is probably going into it too
over
much.
her, what's it? What did it say?
Well, I don't know. Whatever the Klingon
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Well,
what's the thought process there? What do blokes like? Let's brighten this whole thing up. What was the idea?
Would she just like the Klingons?
I know what it was.
She said she wants.
It was a test. If you can read it, you're not of our species.
You're in. You can. That's the password. You've got to be able to say the passwords.
No, I just bought a large vodka anyway. That did the same thing.
There we go. Yeah, and beam me up, Scotty. Yes, right up.
But my main thing was going back to Pokemon. Apparently in Timperley, of all places, the Frank Sidebottom's statue is a gym on Pokemon.
Beautiful, beautiful. So more people will get to see. There's because like some shops. The florists in Uxbridge is a Pokemon gym.
Is it?
Yeah, and so they just get loads of people. Someone tweeted at the weekend, and I don't know if it was genuine or not, but a notice that someone had allegedly stuck on their house saying, "Dear losers," several things.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I retweeted that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's genuine or not. It was quite.
I think you're going to get a lot of people going to see Frank now, which is wonderful.
Which is always. And
wonderful. I helped pay for that statue, so I'm pleased.
I don't know if I put some money towards his funeral. I don't know if I did anything. I think I must have put a few quid towards the statue. I must have done. Must have done.
Good.
I'm still waiting for Steve Sullivan to pull his finger out and finish the Frank Sidebottom documentary.
No news on that?
He's got it down, I think, to 6.5 hours now, so...
Oh, yeah, so 2020.
It's coming, David. It's on its way. 0844 499 1000. Suddenly I'm very, very tired. I'm not sleeping very well at the moment. And I've had a couple of 3 early starts in a row with little sleep. So I'm just flagging a little bit, Catherine, is what I'm saying. And no, my teacup is empty.
Yeah.
Okay. Other Jonathan.
Hi, hip, 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 Ian.
Hop, hip, hip, hip.
So 2 things today. First of all, I think what annoys me most about the other Jonathan is that we've got similar interests. Like, not the racism or the sex.
You hate women and gays, okay.
No, but like geeky stuff, like Star Trek and the games and stuff like that. So I'm beginning to think he's an evil version of me, and I don't know what to do about it.
He can't be, because he doesn't have a goatee. If he had, we all know that if there are evil versions of people, they look identical, but they have goatees and generally wear black.
That's true, and a cape as well.
Yeah, often a cape or a black leather jacket if it's Michael Knight's twin, Garth.
If they're a woman, of course, they have black hair rather than blonde hair.
Yeah. So, but you never know. Jonathan, not the racist one.
My second point is, are you friends with Jeff Lloyd yet?
With who? Jeff Lloyd. Oh, lovely Jeff Lloyd, who works on a rival. Well, it's not a rival to us. It's a rival to our sister station, Virgin. So, and I used to work with them years and years ago, and I'm recording, by the way, dear listener, 2 shows every Sunday for a panel show for a podcast. They're free. If you follow me on Twitter, at Iain Lee, I'll tweet the link. If you just type in Iain Lee, War of the Words, then you'll find details. That's it. At WOTWHQ. That's where you need to go. At WOTWHQ, and you'll find out details. Free tickets, and it's in London, and we do it. And Jeff Lloyd was one of the people. And it was Jeff Lloyd and Mackenzie Crook. And it was the gentlest, fayest panel show I've ever seen or heard in my life. 3 socially awkward, shy men making each other laugh. But no, I haven't. But Jeff has sent me a very nice email inviting me for a cup of tea or a stroll.
Why not both at the same time?
Well, you can't drink tea while strolling. It's just not the done thing.
I mean, it was a really, really funny show, despite the fact that you're all socially awkward. It didn't really come across, and like speaking to Jeff afterwards, he was like, "Oh, I was really awkward." It's like, you weren't really. And my fear is, how can you two become friends if in real life you're so shy?
Well, me and Mackenzie are friends. I mean, saying that, we don't speak to each other anymore, you know. I haven't seen Mackenzie for, when was the last time I saw him? Oh, I don't know, I'm going to say a year. So, what I'll do is, Jeff sent me a lovely email, today. I will, what month are we in now, Catherine?
July.
I'll reply to him just after Christmas. That's how I'll play it, Jonathan. I've got it all worked out. Right, last call this hour probably, and then 08444991000. Good evening, Brian.
Hello.
You're live on talkradio.co.uk. What you got for us, boss?
It's been a long wait. I was just going to say I don't want to blow air all over you, but I am a huge fan.
Oh well, no, you blow air over me, please do.
Didn't get a pun. Oh, come on. No, I wanted to talk about sport.
Yes. What?
Right, we have had an excellent season of sport, the last month or two anyway.
What are you talking about? Sport. Okay, sport. I'm looking forward to the Olympics. No, I'm not. The drug cheat Russians aren't allowed in there. That's the best story ever about sport. They were state-sponsored drug cheating by the KGB. Beautiful.
Wow. What I was going to say was, is there not an argument that we should let everyone get on the drugs?
Yeah. Yeah, athletes, you mean, yes.
But, I mean, imagine Henrik Stenson on Sunday.
I've got no idea who he's talking about.
You haven't watched the golf?
Of course I've not watched the golf, Brian. I thought you said you were a fan.
I'm a huge fan, mate.
Well, then you would know that I've not watched the golf.
No, I know that you have watched the golf, mate. There's no point being all touchy and a bit like, I'm ashamed of watching it.
I've not watched it.
You always get like this with me.
I've never watched golf. The only golf I've seen is Happy Gilmore and when I used to play Tiger Woods.
Right. What did you think of Wales' performance in the Euros, then?
What? Actually, they did really, really well, and it was the furthest they've ever got in a major tournament.
It was.
Gareth Bale, of course, carried the team, but the rest of the team actually, he brought them up to his level.
He did, to be fair.
He did.
and that was only with Class C or below drugs.
No, they didn't have any drugs.
drugs.
No, hang on a minute, hang on. You can't say that. They didn't have any. There were no drugs in the Welsh football team. Yes, like a bad stand-up comedy routine from the 1990s, yes, I agree. All athletes should be allowed to take drugs, but they should only be allowed to take hallucinogenic drugs. I would love to see the 100-metre dash with everyone on LSD. That'll learn them. Or the javelin on mescaline. Or that's what I'd like to see. Don't take drugs, kids, of course. I'm doing a little comedy riff here, guys. We don't condone the use of drugs at all. But that's what I'd like to see.
What about Pokemon being an actual sport, but only drugs involved?
You're obsessed with drugs, Brian. I would suggest you need to cut down. Obsessed with drugs.
Broken Britain.
Broken Britain. Don't do drugs, kids. That way, madness or incredible amounts of creativity, but generally madness lies. So genuinely don't do drugs. Unless you want to. It's a life choice. I'm not going to preach to you. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. And we're reaching the final hour of the show. No, don't do straight to air. Not doing it for July. We'll have a little rethink. Well, I'm off for 7 days in August. I've got a week. I've got Friday, then a week. And I come back for a bit, and then I've got a day off. But you're off for, ever.
No, not.
What?
Not forever.
Well, for 2 weeks.
Well, it's not really 2 weeks, though, is it?
Well...
Doesn't really work out that way.
Well, how long is it?
27th to the 7th.
What does that...
It's about 10 days, isn't it?
Well, so 10 show days?
No.
Okay, why are you speaking in riddles? Why don't you answer the question?
I don't want the burglar to come round.
No, because your sister's going to stay in your house. You told me that.
She's got a massive dog that rips people's
No, but your
heads
sister's
off.
actually staying in your house. You know that.
She's on holiday as well.
Oh, for crying out loud, Catherine, I'm going to come round and leave a deposit. I'd like to leave a deposit on that house, you dirty bugger. No, I want to buy it. Right, time for this.
Talk Radio.
Right. There's loads of stuff I've got written down that I wanted to talk about, and I've not got round to talking about any of it. 0844 499 1000. You'll speak to Ed, and Ed's a very nice gentleman. He will call you back. When we come back after the news, remind me to tell you about my experience on Go Ape today. Okay?
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll put it together and we'll get it undone. Someday, when your head is much lighter. Walking the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll put it together and we'll get it undone. Someday, when your head is much lighter. Someday, yeah, we'll walk in the rays of the beautiful sun. Someday, when the world is much brighter. La 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 la. La 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 la. Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Right now. Right now. Baby. Right now. Give me some time to see. What you've done for me. Right now. Give me some time to see what you've done for me. Right now. Right now. You know I got to show you. Nobody else before you. And the game is such a beautiful feeling. Right now. When you touch my soul now, baby, don't you let go now. No, baby, just don't slip it tighter. Right
Give it a bit more menace. Didn't think there was enough menace in the song.
No,
So
it seldom is.
Give it a bit of menace. This is Iain Lee. Catherine is in the studio. I don't know why. We need to talk about this. It's the second
I'll
week
go
in a
if you
row.
want, I'm
Well,
bothered.
no, steady on. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. You'll speak to Id. He will call you back. Now, today, my boys are on some holiday early. I don't know what's going on there. And I had them today. Today was marred by me having to... Sorry, boring you, am I?
No, I'm just tired.
Me too. Very tired, actually. Partly because I went through some kind of physical hell today.
Not just physical from the sounds of it.
Well, yeah,
quite
very
emotional.
physical. It was horrible. I took the boys to Go Ape, right?
I've
And
seen that from
They
a
love it. It's the
distance.
thing where you go into the woods, right? And you climb up some stairs, and basically there's like rope bridges and all these kind of stupid bridges straddled between the trees. And then you zip wire down, and then you do that for an hour, right? And they're juniors. They're only 6 and 4. So they don't go on the adult one. They go on the junior ones, right? This is the key thing. And there are only 2 courses on there. And my 6-year-old absolutely loves it. And he's kind of the more reticent of the 2, but he throws himself at it with gay abandon. Absolutely loves it. And it's wonderful to see him enjoying himself so much and being so, kind of quite brave. The 4-year-old, before I've taken both of them, the 4-year-old wouldn't go up. He wanted to stay and watch, and that was fine. And then last time he went with his mum, and he went up. So it's like, right, we're all going to go on and do the go. It's expensive, 54 quid it was for the 3 of us for an hour. Yeah,
Blimey.
yeah, it's been my thought, but they love it, right? And I'm
once in a while, I
yeah,
guess.
exactly, it's a treat. And because the 4-year-old's 4, I had to go up with him. I was like, yeah, wicked, all right, fine, bring it on. Once I got up there, I was terrified. I crapped myself. I was absolutely petrified. I mean, like properly frozen with fear. You go along the first bridge, right? So you go up there. You go. Flipping it. This is actually really high, and I'm up there with kids. There's one mum up there, but it's all kids. My boys were the youngest. The rest were sort of 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm there, and I'm looking down. I went, you got the safety ropes. You can't fall. And the safety rope,
Carabiner and all that.
Yeah. The safety rope is probably about a foot long. So if you fall off, which people do, or fall between the bits of wood, you'll just drop like 6 inches and you pull yourself back up. So you cannot die.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You cannot fall off there. You cannot die. You cannot drop from there, right? And I knew all of this, and I'd seen it. I'd seen it loads, right? And I knew all of this logically. And I was stood up there, and I thought, flipping heck, this is awful. And the 6-year-old, boom, he's off, running around. The 4-year-old, a little bit more reticent. The first time around, he's a bit more reticent. The second time after that, he was bombing all over the place. He wouldn't go down the zip wire, which I was...
Surely that's the culmination of your hard work.
He didn't want to do the zip wire. He's scared. And there are quite a few kids, actually, that were scared of the zip wire. And they do a brilliant job. The people that work there are brilliant, right? Absolutely brilliant. and they were doing a brilliant job at coaxing some of the kids that wanted to do it, and if they didn't want to do it, it was fine. There was no shaming or anything like that. It was great.
If you don't want to do the zip wire, how do you get down?
Because someone comes and gets you, and they take you down the stairs. You kind of go down a different route. So you're always, all the time, you're clipped on. They take you down, and then you go back up. You can only go on the first course. You can't go on the second course if you don't do the zip wire, because if you're on the second one, you have to go down the zip wire. And I kind of wanted to do the zip wire because I've never done it before, and ever since watching Krypton Factor as a boy, I kind of thought, oh yeah, but the youngest didn't want to do it, and I had to stay with him, and that was fine. I was cool with that. But up on this thing between the trees, honestly, Kath, and I'm not exaggerating, I was so scared. And the first bridge you go across, and the bridges, they're about 20 foot. There was one that was probably about 30 foot, right? And you go across, the first one is fine, because you've got ropes on the side. You're in like a sort of netting thing, and that was all right. It was wobbling more than I thought. And I thought, okay. The second one, you had like crosses, and then circles of wood, and then cross, and you had to step over it. And all you've got to hang on to there is like one rope, right? And someone explained this to me, and this is not me bullshining, this is true, right? Because I'm this is designed for kids, this one. So the rope that you hold on to, and the rope that you're the metal cable that you're strapped onto, sort of come just above my waist, so they're beneath me.
So there's quite a lot of you wafted around.
Yeah. So I had to duck down to kind of do it, right? And so the centre of gravity is all over the place. And the dad that was watching said, if you did the adult one, you'd find it easier because it's for your height, and your centre of gravity is where it's supposed to be. And that second one, I was doing it, and I thought, I can't do this. I was sweating. Sweat was pouring off me. And we got to the third one. It was called Grandpa's Crossing, right? And there's a little sign on the tree in each one, Grandpa's Crossing. And you're about 20 feet up in the air, and it said, difficulty rating, easy. Oh. Flipping heck, Kath. Honestly, it was the one that had me. It was, this was about 35 feet long, and it was like a sort of bridge, but it was on a bit of a slope. And I had to do it one step at a time. And I was singing to myself. I was singing, bizarrely, I was singing Hey Hey, the Hey Hey song by Imani Coppola, and alternating it with, I wonder if I've got it on here, because this was, I don't quite know why this was, because I haven't got the internet, I can't, KKL, oh, hang on a minute, I will have it, hang on a minute. Let me try and find it. It's important, you know.
Can you not just sing it?
No, it's important. Here we go. I was singing this to myself. Oh, hang on a minute. There we go.
Did you ever have to make up your mind?
I'm singing this, but just this bit.
Pick up on one and leave the other behind.
That was all I could remember. So I'm just singing that.
Ever had to make up your mind? Pick up on one and leave the other one behind.
I kept singing that over and over, and I was sweating, and the kids were far enough ahead of me. I was swearing like nobody's. Effing this is effing awful. And then there was another bridge, right? There were about 6 bridges on this course, and it was like a zigzag, and the zigs, and I nearly fell off, and I let out a massive, and all the parents down there were laughing and stuff.
Well,
thinking I was doing a piece. And I was terrified. And after the Salmon Baz, I'll come to you in a bit. 0844 499 1000. And after we went round it, I think 6 times in the hour. And after every one, I said to my youngest, "Look, do you want to take a break?" "No." "Okay, fine." And I did it. And afterwards, I said to my sons, when we were doing it, I did it, and I smiled and was laughing. And
they couldn't hear the swearing.
They would call me, and I would be focusing on my feet, and I'd say, "Yes, Daddy's a bit busy right now. I will have a look in a minute. Yes, no, don't swing it." Well, the youngest was then put his foot on and start wobbling it. "Don't wobble it." And afterwards, I said to them, "Look, boys, that was you loved it. That's great. I'm going to be honest with you. I hated every single second of it. I had no pleasure. I pleasure seeing you guys enjoying yourself. I had no pleasure doing it. I was genuinely terrified. It's got to be the scariest thing I've done in a long, long time. And my eldest said to me, "Why did you do it then?" I said, "I'm glad you asked. I did it because you are my kids, and you are more important than me. And if I didn't go up there, then your youngest brother wouldn't have been allowed to go up there, and it wouldn't have been fair for you to go up there. So no one would have gone up there."
Yeah.
And as a dad, you do things for your kids that you don't like. And sometimes financially you don't like it. I didn't like it because I was flipping terrified of it, but I did it.
At which point they've switched off. It was going.
Yeah, they're going.
What an idiot.
They were off there on the swings. Honestly, Kath.
Well, it was very noble of you to do it.
It was horrible. I had the sweats. My body was drenched in sweat, and just singing, just constantly. This is going round.
Did you ever have to make up your mind?
Where the hell did that song come from?
Well,
why is that in my head?
Thankfully, my eldest is terrified of heights, so I'll
Good.
be the one down at the bottom holding the bags with her.
Oh, good. Well, no, your youngest, you'd have had to go up with her. How old is she?
She's 4.
You'd have to go up with her.
She wouldn't go if her big sister wasn't on there.
No, she would.
I told you about my eldest.
Yeah.
Didn't like flying a kite on the weekend because the kite was too high.
Wow.
That's how frightened of heights she is. She's on the ground and she's frightened for a flipping kite.
The boys love a good kite. I had beef with kites for my whole life, right? And it only dawned on me the other day when we were flying our kite with incredible ease. When I was about 10, my parents bought me a kite, and they bought what was very much on vogue at the time, in the late 70s, early 80s, a stunt kite.
Right.
So it wasn't...
2 handles.
2 handles. Now, a stunt kite is really hard to fly, and it's really hard to get it off the ground. So I always thought all kites were really difficult to fly, which is why I was reluctant to get one for the boys. And then when I did, and I never got that stunt kite to fly. Never ever got it up in the air at all. If I did, it got up for 2 seconds and it would just spin round and crash on the floor. And it's because it was a stunt kite. I wasted, between the age of 10 and 40, I wasted 4 years on a kite that, really, unless you're the kite runner, you wouldn't have been able to fly it. My parents ruined my childhood in many, many ways, if I'm completely honest with you. 0844 499 1000. Baz, Sam, Dan, Nick, stay there, come to you after this. Right, let's do these in order. Yes, Baz!
Hello.
Hello, Baz. How was, what was that were you eating or drinking? I'm going to say drinking.
I was taking a swig of wine, actually.
Beautiful.
From our instance.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Classy we got classy listeners drinking wine.
Straight out of the bottle, mate.
Oh.
But in my defence, it's my birthday, so it's not quite as.
That's even more. In many ways, it's even more pathetic.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Are you on your own?
I'm about to go out, actually, but I rang you just to make a point.
12 on a Monday night. You're about to go out.
Yeah. Well,
Are you? What are you? A murderer or something?
No, I'm going to central Birmingham, actually. So there's
someone's
quite a few places still open until.
Yeah, it's good. I like Birmingham. Birmingham gets a bad rap, and it's good. I found the best Malaysian restaurant in Birmingham. And it was, there used to be a guy that would stand outside it, a black guy. Oh, that was it. Do you remember the black guy who would stand outside it and he'd wear like a one-piece bodysuit and it would cover his face? And he was advertising a different restaurant.
Oh,
and he
you showed me a video of this
I filmed
guy.
him, yeah. And he would do all this crazy
if
dancing.
covering his face, how did you know he was black?
Because you could see through it. It was kind of a thin cotton. You could see could see he was black underneath it. And it was like this one piece sort of bodysuit, and he would do this mad dancing, and I always felt so sorry for him. But I did go and film him on my phone.
You filmed a guy who was probably down on his luck.
Yeah,
and really needed the money.
I tell you, someone who's down on their luck near where I live. It's Spider-Man. He's standing by the side of a roundabout advertising pizzas.
Yeah.
Poor Spider-Man. Poor Spidey.
Yeah. I've seen a few of those in Birmingham, actually. There was a guy called the homeless Spider-Man who goes around and gives
homeless people sandwiches.
Is he dressed up as Spider-Man?
Yeah, and he's dressed up as Spider-Man.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, if you YouTube him, you can find him.
Oh, brilliant.
And that's quite... I'm not sure whether or not I like him for doing it. It's kind of like, well, shouldn't you be doing that anyway?
Well, hang on a minute. Are you doing it?
No.
Exactly. You've got to respect him for doing that. And also, the thing about charity is you're not supposed to... Your left hand's not supposed to know what your right hand's doing. Is that about is that charity? So you're not supposed to bang on about it. Well, unless it is actually Peter Parker... we don't know who this guy is. Wonderful.
I think he's just a random bloke from Birmingham.
He's obviously nuts.
Yeah, he's in a case. Yeah, completely in a case.
I did a phone in once, and it is a good phone in, but you have to tread carefully because a lot of these people are unwell. But I did do a phone in. Maybe it's LBC or Absolute about every area has got what we used to call a local nutter, but we now call a character. Like in Stoke Newington, for a long time, there was a guy that people would call Stokey De Niro.
Right.
And he would basically...
Can I stop you there for a second?
Yeah, go on.
Did he look like Robert De Niro?
No, but he would walk along wearing a suit, and he would do the arm movements, doing, you looking at me? I don't see nobody here. He would do that all the time. And near where I used to live, there was a woman that I would now call...
character.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of a different name from what we actually called her, because it was actually quite cruel. But we called her... I'm going to say it. We called her Fat Pamela Anderson, right?
Fat Pamela Anderson.
Because she was always running. Always running, but with like big red lipstick on and really glamorous. Always running, and other people have seen, and everywhere has got a character. Going back to Stokey De Niro, I tried to watch Baz for the first time ever today. The first time ever. Taxi Driver. I've never seen Taxi Driver. Right?
Fantastic film.
Boring film.
I loved it.
I gave it 15 minutes, and I went, nah, this is rubbish.
But was that because you thought it was going to be amazing and didn't give it a chance to sort of settle in?
I genuinely thought it was going to be funny.
What?
Funny.
I genuinely thought it had moments of like comedy because and I'll tell you why.
This doesn't mention any comedy though.
No, I'll tell you why. Right? Because I've not read the synopsis. Because you're talking to me. The bit where he's in the mirror. You're talking to me.
Right,
I don't see nobody. That's been pastiched.
Yeah.
So even by himself in the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie, Robert De Niro does it. It's been pastiched so many times. I thought that was like a sort of famous comedy sketch. It's not. It's about someone
losing his mind.
Yeah. It was. I gave it 15 minutes, and I saw him go into a porno cinema, and I thought, nah. Do you know what? Actually, I bet this would have been good in my 20s. But as a 43-year-old man, this looks rubbish.
Also, it was like 4:00 on a Monday afternoon.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
There's
a certain amount of darkness you can have at that time.
I can transport myself to any period in history just by changing my clothes.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I enjoyed it, because although it was filmed and released in the 70s, I watched it in my 20s. I'm still in my 20s. I'm 27, and I watched it when I was about 24 or 25.
It's a kids' film, yeah.
But I don't think it's a kids' film. I think it's a young man's film.
Well, when I say kids, I mean 24. And when you're and Baz, in 16 years' time, you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, or I may not be alive.
Well, you know, the way you're going, man, you might not be. Listen, thank you for that. Enjoy your evening. Happy birthday. Let's do these in order. Dan. Hello, Dan.
It's Neville from Cardiff, actually.
Oh, hello. What was your name? Sorry, caller?
It's Neville from Cardiff.
Hello, Neville. What have you got for us, Neville?
Well, I've just been maintaining my Facebook fan pages, and I thought I'd call up, and I've got a song for you, Ian.
Fantastic. Okay, Neville. What song have you got?
Well, am I allowed to play it? It's about one of my favourite female celebrities.
Well, can you sing it live?
I can certainly try.
Okay, then yes. Away you go.
Okay, just a moment. I've got to give myself a little counting.
I've been dreaming about Natalie Cassidy from EastEnders. I dream of her trumpet. She's blowing her trumpet in my dreams. Sonia of the EastEnders, you make me smile. Every night that you're on TV, I watch you in bed, it's not dirty. Sonia, you just make me happy in prime time. Sonia from EastEnders, your brother Robbie had a dog. Well, I died because of Ian Beef. I don't like it when you get sad. Sonia from EastEnders, I watch you when I'm on my own. Sonia from EastEnders, play my trumpet tonight. I'm so lonely.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no low horn, is it?
It's no low horn. Next time, excellent stuff, Neville. Next time, have the music a little bit lower in the mix, but we got the gist, and I'm saying
I'm
gist.
sorry about that.
Please.
I tried to do these things live.
There are so many more things that you'd need to apologise about more than the mix. So don't worry, Neville. Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, hang on a minute. My phone's gone to. There we go. Yes, Sam.
Hello. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Sam. What you got for us? You through to Ian and Kath.
I've got two things. One of them's like really sad, and the other one's like happy, I guess.
Oh, Christ, okay.
First thing is, I'm not sure if you heard, but there's an attack in Germany.
Yep.
Yeah, it's trending on Twitter. Yeah, I understand Katie Hopkins one bit because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but she tweeted a picture of an axe that had like a red sort of hue around it, basically taking the mick in a weird way, like just like that picture.
What has she tweeted? Hang on a second. Let me see. I've got Twitter on my phone. Let's see what she's.
It's like a picture. It's got like an axe on it, like a red kind of, and that's it. I think. I think I'll retweet it if I want to find it as well. You said pray for Germany, but
well, I think she's. Yes, well, but I don't think she's done that as a joke.
Yeah, it just seemed a little bit kind of. I don't know. I think going back to Twitter, like I do like Twitter, but obviously sometimes jokes or.
Is it meant to be? Is it meant to look like? Is that meant to be a reference to Islam? Or am I reading too much into that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's meant to be an axe.
So it's just an axe? Well, then, she just put a picture of an axe?
Yeah, no, but it was an axe attack, though. I think that's probably why...
Well, yeah, that's why she's put an axe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just reading into it.
But I don't know what your point is.
Neither do I. Really, but...
Well, she's just put... I mean, she's put pray for Germany.
Yeah, I know. I just think... Post picture of an axe is a little bit disrespectful, but again, that's me being too sensitive, I guess.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is, do you like Lily Allen?
Sorry?
Do you like Lily Allen? I know it's a random question to ask, but
let me ask Catherine. Catherine, do I like Lily Allen?
I think you admire her spunk.
Yeah, I do like Lily. I like one of the. I like her attitude to life. I bet if I met her. We'd get on. Yeah, I like Lily Allen. I think she's got a pretty voice.
She's wonderful. I'm quite into sort of female singers, like who's not rap as such, but I really like that kind of
Imani Coppola, buddy. Listen, Sam, there's my tip for you tonight, right? Imani Coppola. Little Jackie was a band that she was in. Imani Coppola. She's going to come on the show, although she stopped replying to my emails, but it's going to happen. That's my top tip for music, guys. It's the last... Catherine is here in the studio, instead of producing.
Well, I'm producing from close rather than from far.
Explain what a producer does, because I've never quite fathomed it. Well, with you.
Yeah.
I've never fathomed it with the other producers. Yeah, I've got it. I've seen it. But with you...
Yeah, you remember that time you got into loads of trouble with the Daily Mail? That was when I was on holiday.
The Chinkies was the thing. Was that the time? No.
The other time.
Which? With the Black and Asian show.
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
that's
guys.
That's what I do. I stop you from doing that.
Here's the thing, guys. That's what they used to... And everyone at the BBC stitched me up with that. That's what they used to call that programme, the Black and Asian show. It wasn't me being generic. It was me... that was what they used to call it. And every one of those... biscuits at the BBC stitched me up and left me to hang out to dry. You winkers. I've got your cards marked, Moss and Culhane. I've got those cards marked. Trust me. Trust me. Hey, you're telling me how you came off Twitter because you slagged off someone. You sent
I was having a private conversation with someone, or so I thought, and then I realised that what was a DM had been posted. Thankfully, I didn't use any names or pack drills.
You had a touch of the Bothams about you, didn't you?
Well, I didn't show a picture of my...
But you exposed yourself.
No.
Well, you did.
I exposed my... I did. I exposed my ugly side like he did.
You exposed your inner bitch.
It's not that inner.
No. And so you deleted Twitter as a result?
I terrified myself. I was like, oh, I can't handle this.
Wow. Who were you talking to and who were you slagging off?
I was talking
Don't say it! Don't answer the question!
I was talking to Ronnie Barber.
Okay.
And I was slagging off
Don't. Oh, don't.
I was slagging off someone who had offended me. A nemesis.
Yeah, that person wasn't my nemesis. I got on with that person. I like that person.
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't approve of all the working styles, but I was when I joined, I was beaten. I was battered.
That person had a bit of a vendetta against me.
For a second, I pictured a Viennetta, and I thought, ooh.
Probably one of those as well.
Do you remember when back in the day? Oh, my boy dropped his ice cream and I said I'd buy him another one. I didn't. Oh, well.
You forgot.
Back in the day, Viennetta was considered posh.
Classy, yeah.
Well, you go into restaurants and they don't have Viennetta, do they? You never go in there. I tell you the worst place to get a pudding, Indian restaurants. Their puddings are rubbish. And
I don't
Chinese.
think I've ever managed a pudding in an Indian restaurant.
Chinese restaurants, they just have like fried banana. Flipping heck, mate. Come on, it's horrible. But in Indian restaurants, you sometimes you think, oh, do you know what? Yeah, I could do with a pudding. And you look at the dessert menu, but they're all like frozen puddings that you'd buy in a shop.
Yeah.
And
like
then
you're half a lemon or half an orange with ice cream in it.
Yeah, and they're all rubbish. It's not like, home cooked. I haven't had a curry for ages, actually.
I had one on Saturday. So good.
I'm on a diet and my weight's going up. So, Dennis, call back because the phone isn't working. We can't ring you muppet. Nick. Good evening, Nick.
Hi.
Hello, Nick. What you got for us?
Just on the subject of local characters, there's one in my area who I don't know if I can say his name.
Don't say his name. Does he have a nickname? Because they generally have nicknames.
Yeah, he does. I don't even know if it's his real name.
Wow.
It's John, but can I say Mad John? Is that allowed?
Well, no, it's not. We're all thinking significantly less of you, but yes, of course you can say Mad John. John's not mad.
So yeah, I remember him from when I was a kid, right? He has a massive like Santa beard. He's a big dude, and he kind of cycles around on his bike with it's got just piles of stuff in it and on it. So I remember him from when I was a kid, and then I went away from the area for like 10 years, and I came back 10 years later.
Did you go to prison?
No. And he was still there. He was still there 10 years later.
And what would he do? What was his act? Because there was, you reminded me, when I was growing up in Slough, there was a tramp called Nobby. And everyone knew Nobby. And Nobby was this old guy with a big white bushy beard, looked like Father Christmas. And people would buy him drinks, and he would, and everyone knew, all right, Nobby! And everyone treated him with affection. Did they do this with Mad John?
Yeah, everyone treats him with affection. He doesn't really have an act or a bit apart from just being drunk all the time.
Yeah,
and the bike with the stuff on.
Yeah, and the bike with the stuff on, and the beard, and the shouting and singing. But everyone kind of knows him. And then during in my area, there's like a big event that goes on every year. So one year, I think 2 years ago, while that event was happening, he kind of disappeared. Yeah. And it's a big event that kind of people flock to. And I thought they might have kind of cleared him out or something to kind of,
Yeah. In the olden days, in the 1800s, poor people would be shipped into the next county. And then they started doing that under the Tory government. They started you were able to move poor people out of your area. So that happens.
Well, so I thought that had happened, and then I was in the kind of next borough.
Yeah.
And there he was. He was sitting outside a bank with a Carlsberg, and he was all right.
Well,
he's branching out.
Well, good for him. And for anyone says we're not making light of mental illness or alcoholism. But these people exist, and the world is richer for them. Nick, thank you very much. I'm going to move on to Dennis because Dennis is paying for this call like some sad sack.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yeah. Well, yes, you are.
No. It's not. Somebody else is paying for it now. Anyway.
Turn the radio off!
Hang on a minute. I rang you to thank you for the disc you sent me.
No, turn the radio off!
Oh, sorry.
Oh, God.
Sicko, just remember, 91, can't do any better. I rang you up to thank you for the disc.
Did it come?
But then when I started listening, I thought, Christ, they're all half asleep, the people who were talking to you. And it was only when Catherine came on that I realised that they weren't all asleep.
What are you talking about now?
Well, when I switched on this evening...
Oh, tonight? You moved on to a different conversation in the same sentence.
Going on like that, as though they were half asleep. And I thought, Christ, don't tell me you're boring them so much they're falling asleep.
It has happened.
It has happened before. Hey, some presenters have fallen... Was it Mike Mendoza, or was it Charlie... I kind of think Charlie Wolf. I know Charlie Wolf collapsed on air, because I've got a recording of it.
Mike Dickin fell asleep on air.
It was Mike Dickin, that was it. Like,
properly
Yeah,
asleep.
Ash was telling us, Mike Dickin fell asleep actually on
He says
air.
he's got the tape of it somewhere.
Oh, I want to hear that. I want to hear that. You love Mike Dickin.
It was only when Catherine came on that I realised what a bright lady she is.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Fair enough. I'm wide awake. Wake all these people up, will you?
I will do, Dennis. Thank you very much. I'm glad the CD arrived. And Dave Cribb, yeah, we know. Stay there, Pablo. We're going to go to Neil first. Neil before Zod.
Hello. Nice to speak to you again.
Nice to speak to you, Neil. Oh, sorry, Kath and I are just flagging a little bit. We're both very tired, and Kath being silly. So I apologise.
Wake up! Hip hip hip!
Hip hip hip! Kath.
Yeah.
Yes, Neil.
Come on, people! It's the late night radio show. You got to pick it up.
You make a good point and a bad point. The good point was it's a late night radio show. The bad point was, I don't know if you do need to wake up. I quite like the way. I think when I first came here and did this show, it was a little bit too manic. And when I was at other places at night time, it was a bit too manic. I was doing like a breakfast show at night time. I quite like the way the show sort of winds down.
Have you ever heard late night radio in the States?
No.
Oh, it's amazing. They always have a woman on who talks like that, all night long.
Yeah.
And she's like just thinking aloud, and yeah, she's winding down.
Are you doing a voice?
I was doing a little voice
Hey,
there. Yeah.
nice one. We're just winding.
Do a little sexy voice. Weird.
Well, I can do a sexy voice.
Go on then.
I'm doing it.
I don't want you to do it.
This voice is horny. I'm doing a horny voice. Everyone now is getting very, very excited.
Wow.
You're getting excited, aren't you, Neil?
No, not at all.
Yes, you are.
I'm feeling a certain churning.
Yeah. I'm churning up inside for your love.
Oh, just stop it.
Neil, what have you got for us this evening?
Well, the local heroes, we had two.
Local Heroes, that's a great name for a feature. Local Heroes, beautiful, thank you.
Well, we had this guy who always dressed like Elvis.
Yeah.
Like a rubbish Elvis.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, you always saw him and you made fun of him.
Yeah.
So anyway, I moved away from that little town, and then whenever I go back, I expected him to be gone, but he's still there.
How long has he been there for?
This is like, I don't know, 15 years or something, and he is still dressing like Elvis.
And does he sing like Elvis? Does he talk like Elvis, or does he just dress like Elvis?
Well, I think he is an actual Elvis impersonator, as in he does the shows and that, but I've never seen him do it. All I see is that he dresses like him every single day with the quiff. And
I would see now. I would go and talk to local heroes. You don't see many of them anymore partly because they're dying off. Maybe because treatment of mentally ill people I would like to suggest, has improved.
Well, the other guy that was from our town, who was a homeless guy.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was homeless, and his name was Khaki Pigeons.
Khaki Pigeons.
Khaki Pigeons, yeah.
Khaki Pigeons?
And, Khaki Pigeons.
Now, when you're saying khaki, do you mean khaki as in poo-poo, or khaki as in the colour khaki?
Well, listen, I've got no idea. It was just, that was his name, Khaki Pigeons.
Great name for a band.
Khaki Pigeons.
If anyone wants to start a band called Khaki Pigeons, then do it, guys.
Well, I don't really want to tell you the famous story about Khaki Pigeons. It's kind of horrible.
Did he murder someone?
No. He just basically he was the guy that you used to go to get you to buy alcohol.
Oh.
So no, I'm not going to tell the story.
Okay.
Can we talk about something different?
Yeah, of course we can, because I'm guessing that story had a sad ending. I tell you what, I saw at the weekend, right? I saw a really good film at the weekend that I'd heard talked about on Radio 4, and I thought, I think I might like that. Sing Street. Have you heard of it, Neil?
I watched it 2 days ago.
Did you?
And it was brilliant.
I watched it 2 days ago!
Oh, it's weird.
I watched it at 10 o'clock in the morning, though.
Were you peeping through Neil's window?
I watched it at night, and I actually put the soundtrack on my iPod the next day.
Aren't the songs
the original songs were really good?
It's been described as the New Commitments set in the 80s, right? And the songs from it are all pastiches of 80s songs. There's a brilliant bit where his older brother plays him music he should be listening to, and there's a brilliant bit where he plays them Man-Eater by Hall & Oates, and then the next song is just a wonderful rip-off of Man-Eater. The original songs were absolutely superb, weren't they? What was name one of the songs? I want to.
I love the one which was Drive It Like You Stole It.
Drive It Like You Stole It. It's a great song. It was such a good film because I watched it. I thought I'm not really I'm going to be that bothered by that. It looks kind of quite cute, and I've got a morning to kill. And it was absolutely. I can't find. Where's YouTube on my phone? Have I deleted? I delete so many apps on my telephone. There it is. I've deleted something. It's moved it. Hang on a minute. Let me see if we can find a song from it, because the songs are brilliant, and the story was and the ending was wonderfully preposterous.
Yeah, it was good.
Listen to this. The Riddle of the Model.
The Riddle of the Model is brilliant.
Here we go.
Oh, fantastic.
Here we go.
Oh. Especially like Duran.
Yeah, this is Duran song.
She's standing on the corner like an angel in disguise. And as I look a little closer, she's got dangerous eyes. Tells me she's a model of international reputation. She's lacking in a bottle, but there's a stipulation. She's so indecipherable. She holds the key to the missing code. Just the thought of her touch, my mind explodes. So desirable, I never will unfold. The riddle of the model.
Isn't it just brilliant?
Oh, I'm going to have to watch that.
It's such a good film. I tell you what, we're going to end on Drive Like You Stole It as well. We'll end on that because it's
nice one.
We'll end on that. Neil, listen, I'm going to move on so I can fit that song in because it's a corker. Thank you for that. Such a good film. I mean, like proper, feel-good movie but yeah, you watch it and you feel brilliant, and it's wonderful. Pablo, you've been on already. What the heck?
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 yes.
You just mentioned two things quite close, and it set an itch off in my head, and I had to scratch it.
Go on.
You were talking about Star Trek, and then you started talking about evil twins having beards and the like.
Yes.
So if I'm not mistaken, that very concept was invented by Star Trek in the original series.
Was it?
Yeah, well, there was an alternate dimension where you had a Spock, Kirk, etc.
Yeah.
And the difference was they all had beards.
Well, did they invent? I'm sure that would have happened before, wouldn't it? I'm thinking off the top of my head. I'm thinking Twilight Zone.
Well, probably.
Well, you say probably.
Oh, don't burst his bubble. It's
Well,
late.
Shatner was in a couple of them.
Do you know what? Pablo, you're right. It was the idea of the evil twin stroke doppelganger having a beard comes from Star Trek. You're right.
There was on a more serious note, if that's
okay.
Not no, it's just obviously in regards to the whole mental health in the community type of talk, and obviously it's been issues with hospitals and the like in the 80s, and Thatcher closing a lot of them down without necessarily reforming the systems in place. So there's a lot of people who are just
but Stokey De Niro and Fat Pamela Anderson were around in the mid to late 90s.
Oh yeah, I mean
there was a fella. Oh God, there was a fella about 5 years ago, right? He was at the gym I went to once. I used to go to a gym. And he was there doing all this really fancy karate, but really badly. And me and my trainer went, this guy's obviously damaged goods. And then he used to really annoy me, and I used to be very conflicted because he was obviously mentally ill, but he used to really wind me up because he'd come up to me and go,
"Kung Fu, yeah."
Well, he'd come up to me and go, "You're the bloke off the telly," and he'd do all that, and he would shout at me in the street, right? And he was obviously on medication. Because sometimes his face would go all puffy, and sometimes he would look very lethargic, and he would get on the bus and shout at me on the bus, "You're the bloke on the telly," and it was invasive, and it was rude, and it was very, very uncomfortable. And then once I saw him, and he had two massive black eyes, and someone had obviously kicked him in, and then I didn't see him again after that. It was very sad, very sad.
I think it's basically you've kind of you've had it in a situation where people have been at large released. It sounds horrible. Basically being living in one place and then being put somewhere, which ultimately is a good thing, where you've got people who have got the key to their own door and the like, but there's and social services and care that's out there for people with mental health or learning disabilities or the like are out there. The plenty, but the only problem is that by the time they eventually catch up, as they were possibly round about the 90s, where money was plentiful and everything was Tony Blair and funky dozy. Obviously since then it's just been cut after cut after cut, and obviously with
well, then we should be seeing more of these local heroes.
There's enough.
And we're not. Pablo, I'm going to have to go because I've got to squeeze in this song. Someone has texted us.
Oh.
There used to be a tall, thin old man dressed in a top hat and tails who would stand at the junction of the A10 and Edmonton Church Street and wave at the traffic. Local heroes. I wish I'd thought of that when I did that phone in about 6 years ago, because that's a much more appropriate thing. Right, that's it. We're done. We're going to play a song from Sing Street, just because I watched it at the weekend, and I watched it, and I was from pretty much the opening. It had the guy who played the evil homosexual in Queer as Folk.
Oh yeah,
as the dad.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, I do. I think he's a brilliant actor. I think he's nicely understated. Mm-hmm. And it was anyway. It was a good film. So, Kath, your work here is done.
Excellent.
Good evening, Id. Thank you. Your work here is done, dear listener. Your work has only just begun.
You just can't stand the way that I walked out from the wreckage.
you want to be in a video? It's from my band.
No.
Talk Radio. Listen, phone, talk.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.